Hi, friends. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. I'm so blessed to be here. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you guys found me. For those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed to do your reading again. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. I can't wait to get into your reading. We're looking at what Spirit wants to communicate and any revelations in regards to the past, present, and future energy going on around you at this time. Okay, so we'll be using only oracle cards for this reading, and there will be 4 options to choose from. We'll be doing a Celtic cross, looking at past, present, and future energies. And of course, like I said, any sort of revelations that Spirit is wanting to highlight for you. So this is an interesting energy Spirit wants to pull through here for you. Now, let's take a look at the decks we'll be using. Okay, so only 2 oracle packs for the sort of clarifiers we'll be using, the spirit messages and the poesis. And for the main readings, we'll be using these 4 oracle packs here. Okay, so before I hold these up so that you guys can sit with the energy, let's get into the quick disclaimer. So the disclaimer here is, if you're new to tarot or card reading, I am reading to you energy here that is going to reflect back to you a state of what's going on in your subconscious. Okay, so it's a message that will resonate for you or not. It has nothing to do with what I'm telling you is going to happen or has happened. Okay, so luckily in this reading, we're going to look at passing and present energies. So that can confirm, is this something that you relate with, or is this something that's not you don't resonate with and it doesn't make sense? If it doesn't make sense, it's not your energy, then it's most likely not your messaging, not your pile. You can go check out another pile. Okay, but because energy around you includes everything, includes people around you, situations, circumstances, things you see, things you're not seeing. So we might still be tapped into your energy pile, just if we're really consumed with our own thoughts in our mind or missing out what's going on around us. Okay, so this is why tarot is good, or reading energy, because we start to see things from an outside perspective. And if we're too in our mind, like I said, this usually creates troubles, and it creates troubles because we have our blinders on and we can't assess situations objectively. Okay, so this is going to look at energy around you, your energy, people around you, situations around you. And sometimes when we are really interconnected with someone, their energy might pull through here. And so you could tap into your own energy, you could tap into someone else's. If it doesn't sound like something you want to hear, don't listen to it. You're not obligated. Okay, and certainly, like I always mention, sometimes my piles are all interconnected. It's not for you to have to sit here and go through all of it. Okay, but I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, I don't know why it's always interconnected here, but you might have multiple messages coming through, so check it out. If you're pulled, that would be why. If you're pulled to 2 piles, 3 piles, that would be why. Okay, but don't ever force yourself to listen. And certainly if there are specific messages that don't resonate, that is confirming for someone else. It's not necessarily a message for you. Okay, it's the overall energy in that pile. It's going to be something that resonates or not in that energy frequency. Okay, and so this is why we need an open sort of mind to say, is this a possibility around me, like with someone I'm dealing with or with the situation I'm currently involved with, and if it fits, and we don't have to force it, then we say, okay, this sounds and feels like it is right. Now, another way we can make sure that it's our messaging is we come up with something that we're going to feel, see, or hear. Okay, intuitively, or just hear, like in the reading, that's going to confirm to you from Spirit a sign that it's your pile. Okay, so just use your intuition. And the reason I show all this sort of stuff like I do, and my videos are 10 hours long, is because I want you to develop your intuition. I want you to sit with the energy rather than just tell your message and then you leave. Some people like this, but then they can go find that reader. Okay, or you can click on the timestamp. But I want you to develop your intuition. I want you to be able to connect with Spirit. I want you to be able to feel like this is your right messaging and not anxious that, you're just listening to someone deliver any message there on the internet and you're running with it. Okay, so that's why I show like the cards being laid out and this sort of thing. Okay, so never be obligated to sit through all my videos. Some of you guys are like diehards, and it's really cute, but it's not always a message for you, and it's not always your reading. And sometimes it is. I'm tapped into your frequency, and we're like, soul buddies here. So, and I love this. I love being a part of your journey. I love being a part of what's going on in your world, and I love seeing what's happening in your world. And so this type of a reading really sort of caught me off guard with Spirit, because I haven't done one like this, and I'm really excited to see, where have you been? Where are you going? And what are you dealing with exactly here? So there should be a lot of guidance, obviously, as usual, in these readings that I do. And yeah, I think this is pretty much it for the disclaimer. Let's take a look at the 4 piles. Beautiful angels. For option number 1, we have the Osho Zen Tarot. Option number 2, we have the Soul Trees Oracle cards. Option number 3, we have the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, which I just got. So if you're wanting to take a look at these cards, there is a card reveal that I posted yesterday. And finally, option number 4, we have the Iris Oracles. Okay, so 4 different energies here sitting here, but they feel very different. Certainly these oracle decks are completely different. Okay, but like I said, there could be crossing energies around you, or different aspects of your situation from different perspectives. So yeah, sit here, take your time. I'll shut my mouth. I'll put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment below. We'll take you directly to your pick. I love you very much, and I will see you there. Hello, beautiful angels. Pile number 1. You guys picked the Osho Zen Tarot. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get into your reading, shall we? I'm so blessed to be here. I'm so excited to deliver this message. We're going to be doing a Celtic cross using this oracle, okay, and 2 other oracle packs to kind of get another layer of your messaging. But we're looking at any revelations here in regards to what Spirit wants to communicate regarding passing, present, future energies. Okay, so if the past and the present don't sound like something that resonates, go to another pile, okay? Or another reading if you're not resonating. That's up to you, okay? Never take messages that aren't for you. Let's take a look then, Spirit, for pile number 1. What is going on energetically here with pile 1, and what are they needing to know right here, right now, in regards to the energy revelations that they're needing to be brought to the surface here for them to understand? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Beautiful pile number 1. Please protect me and the viewer and their current situation, circumstance, whatever's going on in their world, right here, right now, as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. So grateful to do your reading. What covers you, what crosses you, beneath you. I'm seeing this one right here, behind you, meaning in the past. Crowns you, immediately before you. Ooh, look at that. I do feel we need these, and I'm going to put these right over here. Let's turn them for now so we don't get distracted. See self. Sees environment, hopes and fears, and finally, outcome cards. Never forced upon you, of course. Okay, so beautiful angels, I'm getting really hot and I chose to wear a sweater here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pause you and take off my sweater. I'll be right back. Okay. That was annoying. Okay, so let's take a look. So I'm expecting to have a whole bunch of cards here, but it might make sense as we go through. So what's going on around you? Intensity. in the reverse. I am taking reversals for this reading, okay? It doesn't mean it's negative in any way, okay? Necessarily doesn't even mean blocks, just in case you're freaking out here. So intensity in reverse, and we have understanding. It's a crossing. I'm going to flip them all because this will give me sort of a picture here. The miser, flowering in reverse in your past position. So this could be something in your subconscious here, okay? Passing, we have flowering. In the crowning position here, we have control, and it is in reverse. In the immediate future, we have existence in reverse, and we have silence. Okay, and then see self, we have letting go in reverse, and environment, we have fighting. And hopes and fears, we have the inner voice in reverse, and outcome here, we have celebration. And at the bottom of the deck, we have harmony. And then we have these, which I'm not going to reveal just yet. Okay. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Let me sit here. Okay. So let's start with your present energy here, okay? I feel like with intensity in reverse, you would think something is like slowly not intensifying, but I feel like something is intensifying here. It's getting more intense, and it could just be your own mind on overdrive here, or a situation that seems to be building up, has been building up, was building up so much, or it built up to a point where maybe it exploded. You know, like I'm getting really 10 wands type energy, but I can't anymore, or like it just got to a certain point. And so whatever this certain point is that's happening right now, again, you guys are all on your different timeline, okay? But you would know because this situation feels very, very intense. It's almost like this is the main thrust of a situation that's been on overdrive, or it's just came to blows, or it's coming to blows, and very intense, and it's still intense. So I feel like there is another energy you're dealing with here, that there was like a situation, another person, where we either didn't see eye to eye, or they created conflict with you, or there's conflict between you and this person, and creating peace or coming to an understanding. We don't agree. We don't understand each other. And I feel like with your energy here in the crossing, it's like, I want to understand how I could find harmony and peace here, make peace, overcome peace, or how we can overcome this problem is what I feel. Like I can't no more, or it's whatever problem we had, whatever issue we had, it can no longer maintain the way it has, or the way it has been. And so now we have to fix this problem, or we have to come up with something, or at least we have to now talk about it and come to an agreement of sorts in order so we can both be at peace. But I feel like you're having problems finding peace, or how do I have peace with this person? How do I approach this person? Maybe we don't know what to say or how to understand them. It's like, I don't understand this person, or I can't find a common ground, or I don't know what just happened here. But all I know is that I'm speaking like you, okay, but again, like I said, this could be energy around you. All you know is maybe you want to have peace, and you want to have a common dialogue that you guys can both agree on to overcome this thingy that's calm and peaceful. Okay? In fact, I feel like you might feel maybe is to blame here is what I feel, you know. And if you don't feel like you're the one to blame, this might not be your pile, or this might be someone you're dealing with. Someone was held back, and they were maybe taking, or they were looking out for themselves. They were not helping. They weren't picking up their weight. So, you know, like I said, 10 wands in reverse. Somebody's carrying the load of something until they couldn't no more. Whereas someone here, and I feel like this is the person I'm sort of reading, whether it's you or not, is like this person was held back, or holding on to what they had. And it was like, I can't help you, or I can't give to the situation, or I'm incapable of investing here for whatever reason. They have their reasons here. Okay. But I feel like this is what created the intensity here. And it's like, instead of helping, again, I use the analogy of helping make this bread, like someone's making bread and it takes a while to make bread. I'm going to, I don't know, do the flour, beat the flour, the dough, the eggs, do all this stuff and prepare. And it's like, who gets to eat the bread once it's done? So whoever makes the bread. And I feel like with this flouring and the reverse in the past position, it's like, I wasn't helping make the bread. I don't know. I was doing whatever I was doing here for my reasonings. And so I wasn't the best energy that could be in to help, or I wasn't in the best potential here to invest in making the bread. Some of you guys might be bakers here. I don't know. It's interesting. Anyway, so it just seems to me like this energy is predominantly in wanting to make peace and find a way to be on common ground, because there might be some understanding here that because of me and my energy, because I wasn't making the bread, now it's like I want to address this in some way here with the control in reverse. Meaning I'm not going to be in the same energy I was in. I'm going to relinquish some control here, or at least this is what I want to. My intention is to relinquish control here of a way of being that might have gotten in the way, And what this person feels is getting in the way is that we're not understanding each other. And I don't know right now how to get you to understand or see me or understand why I did what I did. And they might not even understand here why they're doing what they're doing. I'm sure there's a reason, like I said, but it's like, the most important thing is to find peace here. But it's like, okay, so if we're going to find peace here, we have to resolve this thing. And so there might be a struggle with, in order to release this thing, I have to relinquish control, and I don't know how to, or that's my problem. Like, I want to make it better. I want to find peace. I want to have harmony, but that would require me to do something here. And whatever it is I need to do is maybe the thing that I'm having a hard time doing. And so in the future position here, we have existence in reverse and silence. I'm going to have to drill into this a little more, but I feel like there is, what I'm initially getting here intuitively is like, I'm not understanding from a point of being present with this situation enough for me to really comprehend what happened or understand it, because I might be too fixated on my own energy, whatever that is. Like, I'm too fixated on the point that I'd have to sacrifice something or relinquish control. And so there's worry about the energy I must do or be in. So there's hesitancy here it's not even hesitancy. I'm trying to find the right word. It's like, sorry, I get irritated when it doesn't come out proper. So I want you to feel the energy. I'm channeling here. It's like, yeah, when two people or whatever, a group of people, doesn't matter how many people, but if you experience a situation, you have your perspective, you have your own biases and your projections of what you experience. If a third neutral party comes in, they're neutral. They're going to be more objective. This is why when there's an accident, the cop doesn't go and take the words, like of the people who are involved. They see if there's a witness. The witness isn't involved. They're more objective. Okay, so I feel like this person is not objective because they're too either in their mind, maybe too panicked, maybe really wanting peace or really feeling misunderstood. Like I was so misunderstood and I'm so involved in what happened. Like I got betrayed or I don't know. Like I can't believe you didn't help me bake this bread. Like it seems a little bit, if I got to be honest, like about myself. how I was either treated, appeared, or I want to be understood so much that I'm not seeking to understand. And so what Spirit is saying is like, upon really sitting with what happened and removing one's projections and removing one's own energy from the situation, they can finally maybe get a better comprehension as to, oh, I now see how I can make peace here because I know what it is that is going to rectify this better than coming from an angle of a preconceived what happened, because this person's judgment is off. I got to be honest. Like, yes, they experienced something. Yes, something maybe wasn't good. But when we attach to it and then we start to act from this perspective of what happened and what outcome I want, or I just want to make peace here now. It's like, okay, well, that's great. But we can't just make peace if we don't have a good comprehension of why things came to blows anyway. Like if we were in this withholding energy and we didn't help make the bread, let's just say, I don't know if this person helped or didn't help, but I feel like this is most likely didn't help, but because it was withholding. But let's say, I don't know, maybe this was the person making the bread. And it's like people kept coming in the kitchen. They're like, get out of here, get out of here. Like, don't help me make the bread because you're getting in my way. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, no one helped me make the bread. Like, I'm sure we know people like this. It's like, well, people were coming in here to help you and you were just like getting all retarded. Okay. So if that was your energy, like now you're like, trying to fix this thing. But if you looked at it objectively and you're like, oh yeah, I did push so-and-so out of the kitchen. They did come here. It's like, oh, now the understanding is better. It's like, hey, I remember you came in here and I told you shoo, and I didn't realize. I was just frustrated because the eggs were falling everywhere and I was like nervous. I don't know, whatever I was doing for a reason, and it wasn't to hurt you. It was because I was overwhelmed, or I don't know. And then it's like, oh, now we find harmony because the other person's going to be understanding. But let's say if we're withholding and shooing and all of a sudden we're like, but you really didn't help me make the bread. The other person's going to say, because there's still conflict here. They're not understood. You shooed me. That's why I went. That's why I didn't help you with the bread. Like, what do you want? So we're still not seeing eye to eye because we're not seeking to understand the other person's point of view. So we have to be objective. This person did something, and whatever they did, I don't think they understand that they also have a part of this whole thing, why it didn't work out. So we need to sit with this. We need to understand this before we go and try to make peace or have the conversation or smooth things over. But I feel like it's so intense here because it's like, why it's intense? Okay, this is also coming through. Let's say we're the person who was making this bread. So we were in this like sort of virtuous energy. It was make the bread for everyone, and then the intensity comes from, we know we shoot people away. We know we did it. I mean, we were there. We might not have been conscious. And so this is why it's very intense. It's because I know that I subconsciously did something to counteract or contradict this situation. And so my subconscious sits here saying, whatever you did, it doesn't sit easy with you. You have to look at this. Like, this is a pattern, or this is a thing you need to overcome and understand about yourself here. And so it's going to present itself like this. But if we're too unconscious, we don't see it. We start to say, well, every time I do this, people always do that. It's like, okay, well, there's a common denominator here. What do you mean every time you do this, this is the outcome? Well, clearly, then you keep doing the same thing. That's why you keep getting the same outcome. So this is why it intensifies, because this universe is saying, look at this, you keep pushing people out every time you try to make bread or go in the kitchen. This is why no one helps you, or why you can't do the thing, and you feel left out or whatever. But anyway, I don't think this is the person that was making the bread. Like, this person here, I feel was like, I don't know, withholding or like doing something, and now it's like, but still, they're still in this energy that they need to seek to understand. But I was too withheld for a reason. And so now this veil, this perception that was keeping me withholding, or keeping me, because it just seems to be like, I need to hang on to this thing or protect this thing or not to reveal this thing, or this thing is my thing. So much so that it blinds me from the reality of a situation. I can't be revealed, or it must be however it is that I'm wanting in some way here for my own protection that I think is best. So much so that it's irrational here, and it cannot get better until I acknowledge this part of myself that thinks it's better if I do it this way, or that continues to not peel back the layers of this thing that is actually the main problem. The main problem is I'm in an energy of lack, or like I tell you, this is the miser. So it's like I hang on to these four pentacles, sorry, at the expense of letting them go so I can make more pentacle. Like let's say we have pennies in this hand and pennies in this hand, and I'm walking down the street, and then there's like, you see like a bag full of money, like there's $1 million, and I'm like, but I can't pick up the bag. I got hands full of pennies. And then you keep walking, like, okay, you can't be that clueless. Like, put down the pennies and pick up the bag, because the bag has $1 million and you're hanging on to pennies. This is the attitude. It's like that way, So we still want to hang the pennies. This is what I feel. I'm still with the pennies, but I want to talk about why I didn't get the $1 million. Like someone else had, like this is someone else's problem. It's like, no, why you don't have the $1 million is because you're hanging on to the pennies. Pennies, you're the one. Okay. So letting go in reverse. Yeah, let go of the fucking pennies. Like, there's a problem here with, sorry, if this is you, I'm just reading because it's like intensifying here, okay? But it's like there's a problem here with me letting go of that concept. And so the more I feel maybe I have to hang on to the penny, and it intensifies my position more rather than leaning in the other way. I'm leaning in towards the thing that was the issue here, and it creates the conflict. There's conflict right now. Conflict with other people. I'm defensive. I think other people are defensive. I'm projecting to the situation. The more I don't let go, the more the situations get more defensive. Because like I said, to diffuse something here would be recognizing, oh, I'm the one who held the pennies and didn't pick up the bag. Oh, I'm the one who shooed people out of the kitchen. Now this conversation goes way different. This whole situation would turn. There would be peace because I'm like, all I do is drop the pennies and now I have the $1 million. Now I'm happy. You're happy. Everyone's happy. Not like this. Still trying to argue about it. Meanwhile, my hands are, look, even two fists hanging onto the pennies. Hanging on, at all costs, hanging on. What are we hanging on to? Like, my goodness. So, what's this? This is our hopes and fears, and it's in reverse. This is High Priestess. So, I'm getting, we don't see, like, we're so blinded by what's happened, or like the situation at hand. Like, we're so disconnected from the truth of like Hermit and the High Priestess. Like, this is really a spiritual knowing, like what was right, like sitting with the intuition, like connecting to seeing myself from an objective view that connects here. But it's like, I'm so blinded by the fear, the scarcity, the hanging on at all costs, that I'm blocking out any voice of reason, any way I could find peace, any harmony that could be had here. And so I want harmony. I want to come together. I want it to be peaceful. I want us all to eat the bread. I want us all to share the bag of $1 million here. But look, the bag of $1 million isn't here. So I'm going to blame everyone and everything. And it's like, yeah, but you're the one who had two handfuls. You're the one that was supposed to pick up the bag of the $1 million, and we all would have shared, but you didn't do it. But it's like, no, but because of you and because of this and because you had your hands in a fist with pennies. So now no one celebrates. But this is what this person wants. So are their intention good? Yeah. Like, this person wants harmony. This person wants to share the $1 million. Like, they want to have peace here. They want it to be harmonious friendship, reconciliation. Let's see eye to eye. Let's find common ground. Let's overcome this. Like, they want this. But it's like, why are they all defensive? Like, do I got to come in here defensive to prove my point? Like, no, you got it all wrong. So they want harmony. I feel like there's love in this situation with the dolphins, So 2 dolphins could really mean soulmate type connection, could be, a partnership here. And 10 is about an end of a cycle. So I feel like there's a disconnect here, like 2 people potentially not talking, and it's like this person wants a reconciliation. There was a coming to blows where we didn't see eye to eye, or someone got shooed too many times out of the kitchen. I don't know. And so it's like, this person's being encouraged with these eyes closed to really go within to really look objectively and connect to their intuition, to what actually they're being called to do here, because I feel this person doesn't want to see the truth of what really happened that day in the kitchen. I'm using that as an analogy. I don't know, over time, because I feel like something intensified over time. So it's like every time the bread happened, this person would shoo people out. Like I don't feel it's just one thing came to blow. Something kept happening with this intensified over time. It's like this person kept doing the same thing. And maybe it just, people are like, oh, it's just, the way Nancy is. Nancy's like this. She gets animated. She shoos people. And then Nancy did it once too many times. And now no one wants to help her in the kitchen making the bread. So I don't know whose fault is that. It's like if we're really used to people sort of knowing how we are, but we're still doing things that aren't helping us, suddenly we push everyone away. And that doesn't mean the thing we did was okay because people allowed it to happen or continue. So this person is having a hard time relinquishing control and letting go, one, of what happened here. I feel this person wants to have harmony and wants a thing, so they can't let go of that. But they're really being encouraged to let go of what they're hanging on to as an idea of why it happened, or their understanding of something here, because that's what's going to fix this problem and actually get them what they want. Not the more they hang on to their position, or the more they think they understand that they were correct here, or the more they want to find harmony here, because I want it so bad, because I'm going to come with more words, I have more desire to make peace. It's like, no, it doesn't matter how strong your desire is to have peace, how much more you want this person in your presence, how much more you want to do it. What's important here is how much more you want to look at your own reasoning, or the main reason, or the real reason why things went askew. That's what's going to fix this problem. And that takes reflection. That takes honesty. That takes looking within. That takes really sitting and seeing, how was I defensive? How did I create 5 swords? 5 swords is sabotage, sabotage myself for whatever reason. This is me, my energy. And it's all because I feel I need control, or I have a scarcity mindset that didn't want to share it. Withholding energy. So let's take a look. Maturity in reverse. Yeah, we're still, one thing is people might have been acting immature, but I think whatever creates this problem is something that needs to come to maturity. It's still there and it will persist in its infancy stage unless we seek to understand it. Once we understand it, it can mature out and it can close out. It's like, I understand myself now. I took the time to see why I withhold, or why I hang on, or why I have scarcity mindset, or why I hang on to these pennies anyway, or why I shoot people out of the kitchen. I have to understand this in order for this situation to mature. Otherwise, I stay immature in this energy. It stays underdeveloped. And then I keep perpetuating 5 swords with people. Politics. So for me, this is about, again, it's the principle behind it. I think this person's really again, I have my idea without reviewing it or diving in, and the more I build on why I was right or the outcome, yeah, but at the end of the day, you didn't help build the bread. You didn't help me with the bread. It's there's really hung up with that. It's yes, it's factual. Yes, that is factual. That's the politics is but they stick to that outcome, saying that's it. That's all that matters, is you didn't help and you could have helped. It's yeah, but really, if you're shooing, if you're not letting people in the kitchen, that's the reason. So let's not play semantics here. No semantics. Courage. So it takes courage to admit I'm wrong, or it takes courage to look at myself and say I do shoot people out, or why I don't want to see this about myself. It takes great strength for me to admit. Receptivity. So when it's blocked, right? And this is also saying, hey, if this is your energy, because you might not see it. If this is your energy, it's I want to come make peace with this person and have an understanding. Why don't they agree with me? Why is it that we are clashing? Because you're not receptive, and they're not receptive because you're not receptive. And you might say, but I'm the one trying to make peace. I'm the one trying to rectify. Yeah, but you're not receptive to what they're trying to tell you, because what they're trying to tell you is about the kitchen, and you're persisting about the end result of something here. So you're not receptive to them, or the truth for that matter. So blocked receptivity on both sides, guidance in reverse. So as long as we're proving ourselves to be right in some way, politics, then we can't be guided to smooth over, to find harmony, and to get what we want here. We're blocking the guidance, and the guidance here is to really get to the root of something here, okay? And the root has to be, take it back to self. Take it back to self, or else we can't find harmony. So not very animated with this one. It is a little annoying here, but okay, so we have High Priestess, which is Pisces energy. We have Leo here with the courage. We have Page energy, which means communication. We have Hermit energy, which is Virgo. We have Three Cups, which is reconciliation here. And we have Four Pentacle energy, like I said, which is withholding. And a need to let go of a fixed thing. We have 10 Wands, burden, passion, strong desire. And we have a Two Cups, which is I want to find a balance. I want to find harmony with you. I want to find cohesion. I want us both to value the same thing here. So this is what I have here. Let's take a look at the oracles to see if there's anything further here Spirit wants to communicate for pile 1. Pile 1, Spirit, what more do we have here? Pile 1. Soul in reverse. So what is this? This is like Hermit energy, High Priestess energy. We have to go within. There's a block here of looking at self, to actually search one's own self for answers before making assumptions or trying to force someone to agree or have a situation change. A situation cannot change unless we change ourselves inside. End of day. That's what we need to do. Transform. Resisting the transformation. Blocking what could actually help to transform the situation, not on purpose. Okay, so I shouldn't get all angry and animated. It's not on purpose, but it's so subconscious here that I do the thing that I don't even see, that I'm the one defensive or the one that has handful of pennies. But Spirit's saying this is what needs to grow, mature. Butterfly is at its mature state. It goes from the caterpillar to the chrysalis to this butterfly, and this is final form. But it's like I'm preventing myself being in the final form. I haven't matured here. That's the only thing that would help the situation to shift or change. Play. This is giving me this Three Cups energy, like I want to find peace and harmony and play like we used to, or have fun and agree. Soften. So we have this wax and with the candle, and this is kind of almost giving me like with this intensify, and the reverse is like this fire. If you let it go on, the candle will eventually just melt away. So I think it was only a matter of time that a situation burnt, however long it did, before something happened here that needed to be addressed, before there was nothing sort of left here. Yeah. Union. So what did I say? Two cups, two people, harmony, want to come together. I think we're really focused on the coming together, or the making peace, or the overcoming, that we're blind. We can't get here. Okay, I know it looks good, and it's like, wow, if I have the intention to just find peace and harmony and understanding, that can't be bad. It's like, yeah, it could repeat something here that's inevitably going to just dissipate in some way here, or become blows if we don't resolve what's actually going on under here. We can't just say, well, I want harmony, so therefore there's harmony and union. And if this person doesn't want it because they're being conflictive, defensive, then it means I didn't do anything. It's like, no. Okay? It's not what it means at all. This person just means, unless you, Nancy, address this, how can we find harmony? I can't engage with making bread with you. You don't see the problem. Your eyes are closed. Your High Priestess is in reverse. You're making excuses, reasons. Your hands are full of pennies. It can all be analogies or symbolic of something, okay? could certainly be somebody who's being greedy or cheap in some way here. A child's love. The love between a parent and a child is one of the most precious and deep connections we make during our time on earth. Children start out as part of us, and from their first cries, they establish themselves as a bigger part of our hearts. So this is beautiful because this is about unconditional love. Let me see some music notes here. More butterflies. Pennies. Oh my gosh, is that pennies? You guys, pennies. Look at the pennies. I swear to God, that's pennies. A bunch of them. Okay. Pennies could signify something just with pennies in general. Coins. But when I'm getting lots of things here. My gosh, why am I reading so long, Spirit? Can we just not? Okay, so back to the reading. Somebody was being immature or has an immature development of something here that's not developed, okay? Doesn't mean that they're like childish. Could be that they were acting childish for sure. But it's an underdeveloped aspect of someone. And someone had to be the bigger person and maybe carry the weight. And so maybe this person's used to people carrying the weight or doesn't see how someone carried the weight for them. And so if we're on the flip side of this person, it's like we have a lot of love here. You know, this is unconditional love. But unconditional love sometimes has to be firm. We can't let the child eat a whole bunch of candy before bed every single night. That wouldn't be a good parent, right? I'm sure even Nancy would agree. But Nancy keeps saying, you know, I'm saying Nancy, I don't know if that's a name, but to this person that I'm reading here, might be too focusing. Well, you're my parent and you should love me unconditionally. It's like, yes, you're right. And your parent does. Therefore, they have to address this thing that's going on and they can't make you see it and you're not seeing it. Therefore, they just do the thing that will eventually help you to see. Okay, and so the advice here is to lean into unconditional love and to know that truth is the greatest form of love. Truth. And the truth is Nancy pushes people out. So Nancy's the one with the issue here. Okay, and it's not even about issues. It's about, do we want Nancy to be underdeveloped forever? And people, you know, like when Nancy becomes an adult, people not like Nancy because she's developed bad habits because of the parenting? No, we want Nancy to be loved, you know? Caregiver, yeah, someone was cleaning up somebody's, carrying the heavy load. We are with you, and Spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love you provide to others, especially at the end of their lives. Just as you received care and love at the start of your life, caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. Okay, so, and I'm going to pull one more. So what this is telling me, one person I feel was doing the most loving thing, and I feel this person got neglected. And so if this Nancy person, the person who is still in an energy that's not seeing beyond themselves, sits with their intuition and really looks at a situation to come from the other person's perspective, they will see that this person was putting their own self behind this person with this caregiver. And so instead of being tough, that would diffuse the situation because now I can relate with this person and what this person was doing. Or, you know, like once this child becomes an adult, it's going to say, wow, my mom really did care and didn't just let me sit in front of the TV eating candy and stuff, and could have let me because my mom was tired, you know. My mom was like working so many hours, but she was always there making sure I wasn't eating candy in front of the TV. And it's like, I was angry, you know, I was upset, but it's like seeing it from the point of view now that I'm older, that the mother was actually, not only was the mother doing that thing, but the mother could have done the opposite. Like this mother here is like, you know, whatever, mother person. This person was like, sacrificing themselves for Nancy here. You know, there should be a gratitude, not even an anger. Self-sabotage. So this is why it's coming through all like it is because this person sabotaged themselves, and usually when we sabotage, it's so ingrained in our subconscious we don't see We don't see. Remember I said we're not seeing. And this is what creates 5 swords, 7 swords, defensive energy. It's not because we want to inflict pain on other people. It's because I'm in pain. Why are we shooing people out of the kitchen here? It has everything to do with the problem. And if we don't understand why, it's not because I need elbow room to beat the eggs. No. It's like I really don't want anyone to help me make this bread, subconsciously. But then I argue that I want it. No, you don't want it. And maybe you do really know that you're deserving of it. But something inside of you is pushing it away to not make it happen. And so we self-sabotage by this action. And then we come out saying, no, I always wanted to make bread. See, I'm making it. Like we're convincing ourselves. But then we get angry. And so it's like, yeah, let's not stick to the facts that we made the bread and no one helps. It's facts. Well, let's look at the reasons why we are saying that we need elbow room or, something like this. So when you learn to get out of your own way, there will be no stopping you. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's the inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. Yes. So if you're dealing with someone like this, then it's annoying. And just know, like with this parent, we're not going to get mad and say, this person did it on purpose. No, this person was self-sabotage. This person doesn't see. This person's immature or just underdeveloped. And there's no need for us to continuously break ourselves helping someone make something or take care of them. But we definitely need to have an open heart about people's traumas and create healthy boundaries. But the truth is the most loving thing we can do in this situation to find harmony here. Because once this person's ready to see, and this child will grow up one day, child doesn't stay a child forever. And when this child grows up, they will see and they will understand and it will become very clear to them, But at this time, this is sort of what's going on here. And so, yeah, this is what I have. Pile, what an interesting reading. I love you very much. If you're drawn to another pile, I'll see you there. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2, you guys picked the Soul Trees Oracle card. We're looking at a Celtic cross, looking at any revelation here, spirits wanting to communicate with you in regards to your energy, past, present, future states, and what you're needing to hear. Okay, and so, like I said in the intro, this certainly can be energy going on around you, people around you, circumstances, situations. Okay, so we can't get fixed in our own sort of perspective, that we lose sight of how it's coming through here. Okay, so let's see, Spirit, a clear and concise message here in regards to pile number 2. What's going on energetically, past, present, future. So if change is the overall energy here, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Pile 2. Thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. There's a crossing energy for pile number 2 at this time. Got 2 cards. We have first chakra with the root chakra and inner voice crossing. In the subconscious, we have the beginning, passing energy. We have play in reverse. Interesting, because inner voice and play came out for pile 1, if you were feeling it. Crowning energy. Flourish. Okay, immediate future. We have detachment. All right, see self. Patience. Sees environment. Second chakra, sacral in reverse. I do feel I'm going to clarify this. 5th chakra, throat. Okay. And hopes and fears, expansion in reverse, 3 wands, energy in reverse, and then finally outcome. never fixed in stone. We have awakening. Okie doke. Bottom of the deck, we have the third chakra. Under that, trust in reverse. Okay. So third chakra, which is the solar plexus, root chakra, and the throat chakra and second chakra. What chakra are we missing? 1, 2, 3. Lower chakras. We're missing the heart, the third eye, and the crown. Okay. So let me sit here with this energy and get into what this is. Overall change. Okay. Wowzers. Okay, I only feel one energy, and it's most likely yours. Something's happening to you energetically, spiritually. It's all energy, and it's really a lot here, okay? I feel it's almost like this person is coming into a spiritual awakening, a kundalini. Something is happening here energetically, and everything's sort of changing with this change, overall energy. Nothing is how I remembered it, and we could be completely feeling sort of upside down here. At times we don't even feel safe, and this is a scary energy to be in because we don't know what's sort of real, you know, or what to trust or what's happening here. And the reason it's has to sort of start here at the root is because when we go through a process of spiritual awakening or even a kundalini, which is the energy rising in the chakra system. Okay, even if you don't know anything about chakras, even if you don't know anything about kundalini, like what this is like our spiritual self is becoming awakened. It's been revived. It's been alive by energy force here, and it starts here in the root. And the reason being is because the energy needs to rise up so that we can become very awakened and spiritual beings and connect to the divine intuitively. But I feel like we're in the lower chakras right now. Okay, I always show this just so we understand. So we have the root, we have the sacral, we have the solar plexus, and we have the heart. And we'll put the heart sort of like that, even though it's not skewed, but it gives a good delineator from where they're at. And then we have the throat, the third eye, and the crown. Okay, so can you guys see that? Yeah. This is where there's blocks, traumas, experiences, egos. Okay, and so how an ego works is it protects us from harm. So when we have an experience in our life, doesn't matter what it is, it's either something that threatened us or made us not feel good. And so the ego's job is to protect us. And so anytime we experience something similar, the ego's on high alert, and it doesn't know, okay, because it doesn't have a brain, it doesn't know the severity. It only knows intensity of something that's threatened you. So for example, in high school, when I was, communicating or I said something, people laughed at me one time and I was super embarrassed. Now I'm older and now I have like a social anxiety because my ego remembers a time when I tried to share or say something. And so therefore the ego is like, better be safe than sorry and not get laughed at. And so it stores this in here and it creates social anxiety. Why do we have the social anxiety? It's a stored experience here. And this is what the shadow work is done so that we can go back to that moment. And like I said, it doesn't have a brain. So the stored energy there doesn't know when this happened. Okay. And so when we meet ourselves, this is why when you do like hypnotherapy or when you go back to drain this energy or do the shadow work, we go back here and we experience that and we come in as our higher self or as our adult self to give love to that in which the person who experienced this, okay, but the person who experienced this isn't really you. The person who experienced this is the body, the transient energy. You are a divine being, and you'll learn all about this when you awaken, that your pure divinity can't be diminished. Nothing can be taken away from your pure being. So we had an experience here. And so when we go back to the situation and we talk to the child you looks at the adult you and says, well, then who is this that's here trapped? It's an illusion. It's a story. It's a thing of the past. I can't be in two places at once. The brain then comprehends that I'm just stuck here holding on to a story that actually no longer exists. And when we don't identify as the I that's here, we remove ourselves from the story. We diffuse it. Okay, this is why it's important to go back to situations that we experience, to remove the attachment, to remove the I from that story. You're not the person who had this experience. And if we don't comprehend that, I know the mind doesn't understand this logically. What do you mean I'm not the I? I was the one that suffered the abuse. I was the one that had that experience. No, that means we believe we're the body. We believe we're the body. We believe we're a separate being from that of the divine. And so once we awaken, we know that we are all one. We are all divine beings. We don't have a separate self. We're not a doer. We have experiences that happen through us, and we create stories. And this is how God experiences itself, through the body. And so you're experiencing whatever you experienced here. And so there's stuck things here. Okay, so now we're on this root chakra. So what's happened with the root chakra is there's blocks. And the block that comes through the root chakra is something that potentially is blocked or that we're needing to look at here. Okay, and your inner voice is coming through here. This is like high priestess shadow work in the root. So this might result in like having bad habits. And bad habits look like many different ways. Addictions, vices, not showering, not eating, not taking care of myself, feeling like I'm unworthy, feeling not safe, can't trust anyone, unstable, ungrounded, whether the fears are founded or not founded. And so the inner voice here is putting this energy sort of around you, if this is your energy here, to invoke change, not to make you feel threatened, but to say, oh, like, where's this energy coming from? All of a sudden I feel all unstable. I don't know up or down. And so it's like, what's happening here is you're being called to clear blocks and do shadow work, so that with this inner voice, you can connect to your divine being, your intuition, and be guided by something greater than yourself. There's something greater than your body self. There's something greater than your experience here on earth. And once we all understand this, we become more divine beings. We're not the body. We're not the things that we're experiencing here. We're more than this. Okay, and so I feel like we're very different than what we're used to. We're used to going to work and paying our bill and being in the body. And now it's like we know there's something more. And so I'm all thrown to and fro. So we've already been on this. I feel it started, okay, with this in the what's it called? Subconscious, sorry. The beginning. Okay, and so I feel like the beginning here is the actual beginning of who you really truly are. The beginning of your journey as this beautiful expression of God, not as the version of you that you were, the false self, the independent I, the separate self. Okay, and so we've already started this, and it hasn't been fun. And I feel like you've been feeling captive, or you've been feeling like this journey so far has been challenging. Nothing's been positive so far about it. Okay, but Spirit is showing here with this flourish. I feel like if we continue to do the shadow work, if we continue to support ourselves, be patient with ourselves, know that this too shall pass. But we have a lot going on in the lower chakras here that are needing to flush out. Addictions, vices, habits, okay? Traumas that have happened, and so therefore I react. I'm not conscious, I'm not present, and I'm connecting to my higher self. But I got to observe myself in this 3D world to see what I'm still doing and what I'm not doing and why I'm doing it. Okay, and then the sacral here intimacy, our sexual energy, our creative energy, our ability to connect to our emotions, and the solar plexus, where we might have too much pride, too much desire, too much of our own self-image that we're attached to, an identity we've created, and we gotta detach. This is what you're working on. So Buddha says, the only way we suffer, not in this exact quote, but the only way we suffer is if we are desiring something, or if we are resisting and creating aversion to something. Then we suffer. And it isn't really the desire itself, because it's okay to want, it's okay to have ambition, it's okay. But when we create attachment to it, we suffer. It's the attachment to that in which we desire. It's the attachment to that in which we, when we are resisting something, we're creating an attachment. It's like when we watch people arguing online, and it's like the left versus the right, but we create more controversy because we're so attached to the story of like the left is wrong or the right is wrong or whatever. And so we're really creating an attachment. So we suffer. And this doesn't mean, that we're like not aware or awakened of what's going on in the world. Of course. But we're not attached to identities. We're not attached to certain ideologies. And so I feel like this is in your future position here, because I feel like you are detaching, and this is a good thing. Detaching from identity, detaching from the version of you that is not you. This isn't you. And so you're being asked to have patience, and maybe it's taken a lot of patience, but I feel it's dark. Maybe you feel very alone. And so for one, I want you to know that I'm here for you, and my email is in the description box. So if you need somebody to talk to, if you want some guidance, if I can help you, I am here. Okay, so you should never feel alone. And maybe you feel like nobody will understand you. I can understand this energy very well. So I'm here for you. You don't have to do it alone. But I feel like what Spirit really wants you to know is the answer right now, in this present moment, to this suffering, to this upside downness, to this change, is loving yourself with the patience you would a child for yourself. It has to happen this way. This will alleviate 80% of the suffering here. Patience for yourself, love for yourself, non-judgment of yourself. Let yourself do what it's doing. Recognize it. Don't resist it. Don't fight it. Don't say I'm bad for this. If you observe the thing in the root chakra here that's going on, and we say, I'm so bad because I did it again, or I thought this again, or I'm not as far as I thought I would be, or whatever. That's a judgment, and it creates worse suffering for you. So this patience is like a parent saying, as long as it takes, I embrace you. I'm here for you. This is part of the process. It's all okay. It will be okay. I'm unique, and it's going to happen and flesh out in due time. So I might as well befriend myself, support myself, let the process flow. That will help you. Okay, this doesn't mean continue to be blind and do the things intuitively you're being called to not do or address. And we could do this with sabotage, and this is what causes pain. It's like we know that, resisting or doing the thing here it's what's bringing me the disharmony, and I keep doing it. It's like, take a look at it. Okay, so I feel like there's an authentic version of you that is dying to come out. And what Spirit's really showing here is, with the second chakra blocked, the only way you can be of service to the collective and present your true purpose here, I feel you have a calling here. A book, a painting, a project, a business, something no one's seen before, whatever your birth of something here is being blocked. Your creativity to receive the download, this beautiful blessing gift of what you're supposed to, your purpose here is blocked at this time until your truest expression could come out. Because the true version of you is the only one that's going to develop this thing, nurture this thing to life. It only comes to you when your energy is clear. If you're still in ego, if you're still dealing with the matrix stuff, if you're still in root chakra, if you're still in lower energies, still in ego, Spirit doesn't give the magical powers, the spiritual gifts to people still in ego, to people who can't handle it, to people who will turn these gifts towards other things. So we're not ready, and we're not ready until we're in our authentic energy. And authentic means I've released everything that's not me. I've detached from all attachment. It doesn't mean I went seeking my purpose. I ended up having to uncover who I was. No, who you are is already there underneath it all. But what's covering right now is a whole bunch of trauma, or a whole bunch of shadow, or a whole bunch of programs, a whole bunch of things that are clouding your truest form of expression. And so we need to get honest with the truth when it reveals itself rather than fight it, you know? So if I'm in a workplace that's not me and I feel like it's sucking the life out of me, but I'm attached to that version of me, I will at all costs hang on to that identity. And it's like, no, that's the thing you need to detach from. Be honest with yourself, trust in the divine, you know? Like this message is very specific, and I'm not telling you guys, I'll quit your job here. Okay. Like I always got to give this sort of caveat, because you'll know who you are, you know, or whatever. This marriage is sucking me dry. But I have a concept here of what it means. And so I'm attached to that version of me that's been me, that I believe to be moral and true, from a belief, from a construct, you know, from a traditional belief that was handed down from my parents to their parents. And so therefore, as long as I'm connected to that, I'm not authentic. And then therefore my purpose is blocked, because my life is unfolding in a way here that's not authentic. So our life needs to get authentic before the gift can be gift, which is you're the gift. Okay. And if you guys watch me, I never call anyone the gift, but you are a gift. You're an absolute gift here. And this gift needs to be opened up like a beautiful flower. Okay. You're on the path to this. There's no stopping this. But what happens is there's torture with suffering through this if you're not patient, if you don't allow yourself to flow with this, if you don't understand what this is about. Then there's suffering, then there's resistance, then there's delays, then there's dark shadows. Okay, but dark shadows will come, because as a part of dark night of the soul, we experience suffering. But this is happening whether you like it or not. Okay, change is inevitable. Change happens, it's inevitable. You're being divinely guided through this. So we can't resist or hang on or cling or create more identities or attach to things. We have to surrender to the flow. Allow this to flow. Okay, so I feel like right now we're not at our full potential. And I feel like around us in the 3D world, we're still little. We're still playing the little self, the little I, in the marriage, in the job, in the thing, you know, you'll know what it is. And I'm not saying marriage is bad and jobs are bad. No, sometimes the job is the thing, you know, that's your career. And it's like, you know, but you'll know what your thing is, because I feel you're selling your soul, like, but it's like your little self. And there goes my email confirming what I'm saying. Your little self is living a facade right now at the expense of your soul waking up. And so with this solar plexus at the bottom, trust in reverse. Yeah, there's a truth here that needs to come out. And there's needing to trust the divine in this journey, the Kundalini energy that's running through you, not to get in its way. And so if this means surrender and show trust in way of action, then that's what you're being called to do. But solar plexus energy, you know, when we're here, it could feel good because we feel like we have the will, we have the freedom to do things and feel empowered to do things and this sort of thing. But this can be a problem in itself because pride gets in the way. And we think we're the doer of everything, or we think that there is like, this could be very exhausting if we're in this energy for a long time. This is still root chakra stuff, or lower chakra stuff. Okay. And so anything that's going on in the lower three, which we see here clearly, It has to be addressed equally. Of course, if this root chakra is like very severe, we got to deal with the addiction before we deal with, this solar plexus. So we got to start with the base fundamentals. What am I doing day in, day out? Am I taking care of my needs? Do I feel safe? And then we can deal with the emotions, the trauma I experience, feeling like safe expressing myself and understanding my emotions. And then we got to deal with the ego part. I'm a doer. I got to prove myself. I'm worthy of all these things. And so therefore I'm fighting to prove it. It's like, we don't got to prove it. We are worthy, but we're worthy of just having these things, just being. We don't got to do anything. We don't have to fight for this like future of ours. No. Okay. We gotta let spirit guide us. We gotta humble ourselves. And so I don't know where you're at, because I feel like for some of you guys it's a very low energy, and I want to say, humble yourself, like you're already in depression and you might need more solar plexus. You can do this, you can do this. So it's not bad to have confidence in yourself, like you, as in like you with the divine, like you'll get through this. But some of yourselves are like used to being in the solar plexus, like having control and doing all this, and all of a sudden the rug is pulled and it's like, I don't know what's up and down. I don't know how to deal with this whole thing. And it's like, I thought I knew myself. And it's like, no, Spirit's showing you don't have control. And this is why it's happened. You don't know yourself. You don't have control over anything. Spirit's taking the wheel. You have to humble yourself. You have to get more truthful. You can't block your emotions forever under the guise of, I'm the captain of my ship. Okay, so if we were used to this, and all of a sudden it's like, we got to be open. We got to be honest. We got to express ourselves. We have hidden things here that are coming out of the shadows. And all of this happens so that we can open up to our spiritual beings. Okay, like the top chakras are all about the spiritual aspects of us, connecting to the divine, being led by our intuition, our sixth sense, being connected. So we might be able to read tarot, become very intuitive when it comes to feeling out situations, connecting, being empathetic with other people. But most importantly, with this center chakra, this is the heart chakra, and it's about getting centered. This is the love, the heart. So it's compassion for humanity. And because the only way to open up the spiritual chakras is when we open up the heart. The heart is the doorway. And so we might have not truly loved ourselves or truly knew what unconditional love is. It's very transactional love, protecting, guarding, and when we open up our heart chakra, it's love for our brothers and our sisters as ourselves, a desire to be of service to the collective, seeing everyone and everything as part of the divine. And when we connect to this heart, it's absolutely beautiful, but it's a process, and we have to burn off these blocks in these lower chakras in order for the prana, which is the energy, to flow. And this happens when we're awakened, when we go through a spiritual awakening, a kundalini, the energy flows from the bottom all the way up. And so if it goes too fast, sometimes we have a sporadic kundalini awakening, and these types of people get completely under some form of psychosis. People think they're crazy. They might get put in insane asylums because it's too fast. Okay, but I feel like if we're going through like something that's gradual here, it's like it's slow. The energy is rising. And so when we go through having to burn and do shadow work here, the more shadow work we do, the more we release of these blocks. And so the energy can flow up to the heart. And once we find the heart, we get very centered and grounded. We don't get pulled by all of this stuff here. And we find peace. We find samadhi. We find a resting place. We've come home to ourselves. So we just need to make it here. But the truth is, once we unlock this heart, all of this opens up. Because now the divine knows you have a true heart here. You're not going to use these spiritual gifts and all of this stuff for bad. I mean, you always have a choice, for sure. We have a choice. We can either use the energy for good or bad. But when we lean into this heart space, and we've opened this pathway, and energy now can flow. Okay, there's no such thing as blocks in these chakras. No matter, people say, oh, I have a blocked throat chakra, block this block. You can't have blocks here. There's no blocks. These are spiritual energy. This is the matrix. This is where we have blocks. And if there's lots of blocks here, the energy cannot flow. And so some of you guys might want to look at white tantra, okay, with sexual energy, because sexual energy here is the same energy that flows. So the more we're sort of releasing that energy downwards by way of orgasm, by way of release, it prevents the energy from flowing up. So I'm not going to get too into that whole thing, but when we're really working with our spiritual energy, when we're really trying to awaken here, we need to be very awakened to what are we doing with our energy? How are we exerting this energy? This is why it's so important to be present. What am I doing right here, right now? Where am I exerting? Because we could squander energy. We could be leaking energy all everywhere. And when we leak, it never has a chance to go up. It keeps leaking out. So we got to work on detangling all of these blocks, letting the energy flow so we could become more spiritual, enlightened, open our gifts. And this expansion is about soul expansion. Our life changes, it grows. We become more abundant in 3D. So we might think, well, it doesn't matter if I'm spiritually rich. My 3D world kind of sucks here. It's like, yeah, but when you're spiritually rich, your 3D world will align. You're conscious, you make different decisions, and you're more aware. And so the universe wants to pull you forward, wants to grow your soul, wants to give you more abundance in your world. But first, you must be aligned with your authentic self. And so this is what's happening here. Okay, wow, I didn't expect these readings to be so not like this, but let's see. Look at test. Okay, test. I don't feel like I want the one from the bottom, so I'm going to do this so I don't get influenced. But test in reverse. So what is this? Jumping through hoops. Look at the fire even representing the transmutation of energy, the transmutation of shadow, like I talked about. So, and in reverse, I feel like there is a point of time here. Like, I feel like for this group, I'm sure it's already started for you. Like, this isn't new. You're like, oh my gosh, like, what do you mean this is happening? It's like, there's something fucking going on here. It's really, you feel it. You might think like, is this a test from the universe? Or you might feel like I failed it, or I'm stuck right now, or this is it, or I'm not going anywhere, or whatever that feeling is. This is, I think, how you're feeling. And the universe is saying, no, it's not, this is something you're stuck at. It's just saying like, you are going through a process here. The only reason you would ever feel stuck or like stagnant or like it's because you're not working with the energy. You're still trying to be like the doer or do things the old way because that's the only way you know how. And I don't blame you. That's all you experience. That's the you remember. And it's like, no, there's another you here. Well, not another. There's just one you. And the one you is that true you. You've always been the false you. The you that was conditioned and that was running some other operating system. And so we're transmuting that old operating system into the new one. And I don't think we've gone through the other side. And Spirit's saying you're going to get through to the other side. It feels blocked right now. But maybe we failed some sort of test. And there's no such thing as failing. And again, tests. Like, where's the universe testing me? Like I said, it's a journey. But what I mean by the test is like the universe will put certain circumstances in front of you. And you can continuously do the same thing. And the universe says, pile number 2 isn't quite there yet, isn't quite ready. It hasn't quite learned that lesson because they keep doing the same thing. And as long as you keep choosing the same, you get the same sort of results. The minute we start to trust the universe and we do something different and we're conscious, then it's like, you passed the test, child. Now we've transmuted that block and that pain, that program, that pattern. And I feel there's a pattern here that look at even with the spiral. You're stuck in some pattern right now. It's running your life or you feel it's running your life. It's never running your life. Okay, you're the ones like choosing that pattern. And maybe you're trying to find a way out. Like, how do I get out of this thing that I keep doing, keeps happening, keep choosing the same? I don't know a way out. And Spirit is saying there is a way out. The way out here is working with Spirit and your intuition. And the intuition would only ever be blocked if we're still in old energy, if we still have too many blocks that the energy can't flow up. So we have to be very conscious. What choices are we making? What are we saying right now? Are we agreeing, but we really don't want to agree? Are we engaged in things here that are doing the opposite of that, in which I know is for my greater good, then that's where I start, because I keep failing this test or blocking the energy or not transmuting that part. And so I keep repeating that same life lesson. It keeps repeating. I keep going to work. I keep doing the same thing. I keep pretending that this is me. I keep that attachment. It's not you. And the sooner you recognize it, the sooner we transmute this energy. And this, again, patience. We don't have to, quit our job, go live in a van down by the river and leave our family of 12. We might have to do all this. We might, absolutely. But we don't have to do it all overnight. We just got to get on this path. We got to acknowledge, and we got to start going through this hoop. And we can't fight it, resist it, and pretend that the past us is the us that we are. We're unhappy. Look at that abundance. The universe wants to give you abundance. Intuition. That's this inner voice. So we're blocking abundance right now. It's going to come. Okay? I don't feel you feel abundant right now at all. Look at all this flow. And Spirit is really saying the minute you break this pattern, you know what your pattern is. That vice, that thing you keep doing. Okay? If you don't know, tap into your intuition. If you resonate with this pile, you'll see what it is. You'll be guided. Go through this hoop, transmute that thing. That's the big block you're dealing with right now. And the fact that we have this in the self environment. Okay. Like I said, this is about intimacy, emotions, something trapped in your emotions. Maybe you have a hard time speaking your truth when it comes to your emotions. You bottle it up, or you don't know how to communicate here, how you're feeling, how to express yourself. That could be something. And so every time you get a choice, a situation put in front of you to speak something, you shut down, or maybe you say the opposite. I don't know how you do it, but we need to transmute that part so you can go through the hoop. And when you go through the hoop, Spirit is saying, instantly you get abundance. Instantaneously the abundance comes. And this water might be talking about emotions. So it's what a flow of emotions, but it's coming back at you too. It's abundance, joy, happiness. Look at the sun, clarity. This feels really good. It feels so good. And you'll say, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I do it sooner? Because then we'll find out, it was fear. It was my pride. It was my trauma that didn't let me, or that thought I needed to be stuck here. No, those are illusions that we create, and they might seem very real, but again, it's just energy. Is it really real, or is it just the concept of what we hold in our mind that pretends it's real? The attachment to that story, to that identity, that makes it real. So your intuition's opening up here, which means whatever gift I was talking about, you're highly spiritual, you're coming into your psychic abilities. Okay. So let's see, what else does Spirit want to communicate? Synchronicities. Oh my goodness. So are you noticing the signs of synchronicity that the spirit world has been sending to you at this time? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they're being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. So we're seeing angel numbers, signs, symbols, synchronicities, people. Look at this. We have twins here. Some of you might have been awakened by a twin flame, by a person here. There's an awakening. And the awakening here is the divine waking you up. Okay? And the divine wants to give you abundance. The divine wants your true self to come out. And so these synchronicities aren't just by coincidence. They're to guide you through transmutation of energy so that you can ascend, so that you can expand as a soul and grow. Be proud. It's time to celebrate all that you've achieved, all that you are, and all that you will become. Every once in a while, it's important to stop and acknowledge what you've achieved and be proud. So let's pull that like that. Peacock here is giving me ego. Solar plexus is the big ego chakra. And like I said, for some of you guys, if you're feeling really dark and depressed here, okay? I'm talking about depression here. Then be proud and look at where you've started, because I feel like you've been on this journey for a while. And so if you watch me, I almost feel bad sometimes the way I deliver things, but I can't help it. I'm I got to be more compassionate. I have to show I care here. I do. It's just, this is how I read it. And I don't want you to feel alone or you're doing anything wrong. No. Okay. You need to have confidence in your ability to overcome, for sure. Don't let anyone take that away from you. I'm talking about the people here who are, because I feel like some of you guys are here and this is what's getting in the way. The pride, the ego, the story, the identity, the version of you that's used to winning, that version, and it feels like it's slipping between your fingers for a reason. The ego is dying. We're going through an ego death. Pride is not a good thing to have. It's not. Okay, but this is not a non-egoic being proud. Like, it's okay to celebrate our victories and our wins, but we can't attach ourselves to say we're the ones that accomplish anything. We don't. Spirit does through us. And so we have to detach from that identity that's created some success in your world, because it wasn't you. And even if it is success by what means? Okay, so you'll know where you fall here. Caregiver, yeah. So we are with you, and Spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love you provide to others, especially at the end of their lives. Just as you received care and love at the start of your life, caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. So, just getting lots of messages from this. First of all, the end of the life. This is your old self dying. We need to be compassionate. We need to take care of ourselves. No one else can do this for you. Okay? Yes, it feels good to have soul community, but your journey is unique to you. And sometimes it puts us in a more spiral. We start to compare our stories with other people. We start to think we're supposed to do this or be there or understand that, and it overwhelms us, and it makes us feel like we're not good enough or we didn't do the right thing. The first most important thing I said to you is going to get rid of 80% of your suffering is to hug yourself, embrace yourself, be patient, and really befriend yourself like a child. Give yourself that thing in which no one's going to give to you but you. And if you can't find that right now, I'm here for you. You do have this within you. Just bring it to the present. Hug yourself, love yourself, show you care to yourself here. This love has to cultivate, and the love will brew. You just need the size of a mustard seed. You might not fully feel completely loved and abundant right now, but you just need a tiny little bit, a little bit of gratitude, a little bit of showing yourself this patience will go a very long way here. Okay. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, we're here along the way. We're here to take care of you. You're not alone. You're not neglected. You might feel it at times. Okay. But it's not true. And we have to take care of some thing here, I feel, with this caregiver and neglect. What are we neglecting by doing that pattern? There's a part of ourself we keep neglecting. We're doing it. And I think we're doing it, especially if I don't know, there's some thing here within yourself you got to tap into that you're not seeing. But if you relate with the fact that you are suffering and you're in a pattern, it's because there's something within yourself that you're needing to know that you are worthy. No matter how much you think you're worthy or told yourself or whatever, believe conceptually, there's something within you that is creating this pattern because it really thinks it's not worthy of receiving love and care. We have to find what that is. I overgive, I overprove, I overfight, and then what? It makes us feel like we shortchanged ourselves because we have to do more than everybody else just to be loved. No, we just be, and we're loved for just being. That's enough. It makes us feel safe. You're not any less than anyone else, and no one is any more than you. You're a beautiful divine being here, okay? So we need to take care of ourselves, angel. So this is your reading. I hope this helped you guys. I love you very much. If you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3. You guys picked the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Seems like just yesterday I was doing a reading with this deck. Oh, I was. Beautiful. I can't wait to use this deck. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it's going to be short and sweet, but my readings are never short and sweet, but that's kind of what I felt. So let's see. Maybe you're short, physically short and sweet, but we're doing a Celtic cross, and we're going to look at what sort of revelation does Spirit want to communicate to you in regards to your past, present, future energies. Okay. please listen to the intro, because sometimes this isn't your energy per se, but your situation, people around you. It could be tapped into someone else's energy that's in your vicinity to give you clarity. Could be objectively something that you're not seeing, and so you might not even think it resonates if you're too stuck in your own perception of something. Okay, so it's very important we have an open mind here, but not so open our brains fall out. Okay, we want to resonate this, we need to just be open here. Okay, but let's take a look then with this Celtic cross. We'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message, oh my goodness, in regards to pile number 3. And what is this revelation they're needing to know? Past, present, future, situation, circumstance, what's going on here? Thank you so much, Spirit. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. So grateful to do your reading. So we have the overall energy is practicality in reverse. We have a crossing energy we haven't looked at just yet, and subconscious energies. Passing energy for pile number 3. Crowning energy in your future. See self. Sees environment. Hopes and fears. Outcome never to be taken literally. Could be changed within moments of this reading, really. It's up to you, okay, what the outcome. And bottom of the deck. So we have choice. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. Choice. So we have the sign of, Mars in Libra. Mars in Libra. Choice. Okay. Got a heart with a sword through it, and the sword's pointing down. 2 people here. Balance, scale. Okay, choice. Rose talks about self-love to me, and we have the number 7. So 7 is all about understanding and reflection. Okay, so practicality, I'm going to flip them all here before I get all crazy. So we have the crossing energy with endurance. This is the sun in Scorpio. And in the subconscious, we have seduction, Jupiter in Pisces. And in the passing energy, we have Jupiter in Scorpio with manipulation in reverse. Crowning card, we have resourcefulness, sun in Cancer. Immediate future energies, we have romance in reverse. And this is Venus in Taurus, clarified by this companionship, moon in Libra. Okay. Oh, geez, sorry. Zoning out here. New horizons. Old ways won't open new doors. Okay, I'm just covering up the nudity here. See self energy, we have convention. And this is Venus in Capricorn. Environment. We have appreciation in reverse, moon in Leo, and discrimination. And this is Venus in Virgo. And hopes and fears, we have fortune. Interesting, these 2 cards came out when I did yesterday's reading, did they not? Yes, interesting. And then for the outcome, we have Jupiter in Sagittarius with fulfillment. Okay. It does feel kind of similar to yesterday's reading with the same deck, you guys, kind of, but I'm sure there's going to be more here that we get to uncover. Okay, I don't know necessarily it's going to be short, but we do have more oracle cards we can use. Just let me sit here with this energy so I can tap into this whole thing, okay? Oh, wow. Okay, one very strong message and one energy, and it's your energy. You're like, no bullshit. No more bullshit. You've learned something here. You've learned a lesson the hard way, I feel. Someone might have taken advantage of you, and now it's like, my eyes are wide open. I don't want to be sweet talked into something here. Some of you guys, it could have been seduced, or at least you just gave your heart away, or you were very kind to someone, or you did things, nice things, you're compassionate, you're a good person, you meant well, you might have loved someone, you might have just wanted to share with someone, you had very genuine, nice things here, and someone might not have treated you that way. It doesn't mean that they're narcissist or whatever. They might have just took advantage of you. They might have just treated you badly. They might have just did something here that doesn't feel good. It didn't. Okay, but I feel like you're tired, or you got tired, or you're tired of dealing with the situation. You just want it. You're just like, the only thing that matters to you is to have this thing disappear in some way that's going to alleviate you. You just want peace, happiness, and you feel like you've been involved in this thing for so long. It's like you've been grappling, this test of endurance. Like, how long is this going to go? Like, this person's annoying, or this pattern's annoying, or this phase of my life just seems like it doesn't end. And it's like, I just want to go back to, or I just want to find peace. I just want to find a resolution here. If this is resolution with this person, if this is a new phase of my life, if this is whatever this is, I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of it not working. It's never worked in my favor here. Okay. And so I feel like in the immediate future here, you have this like, this newfound understanding that's like, I know what I want. And it's switched from the rules of the game that you were playing. It's no longer the same rules. You have new rules. What's that song that's coming in? New rules? I don't know. This is a popular song from popular. I don't know. It's so popular, but it's not even my type of music. I almost got to look it up here. I think I am going to look it up, and I'm going to read the lyrics because I've been called to do this. Just give me a second, okay? Okay, this is interesting because I don't normally channel music so much. So maybe some of you guys are singers or this, I don't know. But anyway, the song New Rules by Dua Lipa. And I never even knew these words, but this is totally what I'm channeling here. Okay? Talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy, wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Oh, he makes me feel like nobody else but my love. He doesn't love me. So I tell myself, 1, don't pick up the phone. He's only calling because he's drunk and alone. 2, don't let him in. You have to kick him out again. 3, don't be his friend. You're going to wake up in his bed in the morning. And if you're under him, you ain't getting over him. I've got new rules. I count them. I've got new rules. I count them. I've got to tell them to myself. I've got new rules. I count them. I've got to tell him to myself. I keep pushing forwards, but he keeps pulling me backwards. Now I'm standing back from it. I finally see the pattern, but my love, he doesn't love me. So I tell myself, I do. 1, don't pick up the phone. Anyway, and on it goes. So practice makes perfect. I'm still trying to learn it by my heart. Eat and sleep and breathe, rehearse and repeat it. Because 1, don't pick up the phone. He's only calling because he's drunk and alone. So there's a lesson here. Okay, whatever this lesson is, could be a friend, it could be a lover, it could be somebody who took advantage of you, it could be somebody who has their own intentions here. And it's like, I had good intention here. So this romance is in reverse and this companionship is in upright. It's like, I don't even want a relationship potentially here, or if you wanted something romantic, or if you wanted some vision or something, it's like, I just want now to have this understanding with companionship, or find a true companionship here that's equally mutual, like someone supportive here with this handshake. And so I feel like you're looking to the new horizons, like old ways won't open new doors. Like, we've tried this before. Like, we're not doing this again. And so we do have choice at the bottom of the deck, because I do feel like it's obviously your choice which direction you go. And I don't know if there's going to be this person trying to leech onto you, or what. But I feel like you have this new rule with this convention, and the rules have changed with practicality in reverse. It's like, I'm no longer who I used to be, or accept what I used to accept. and you don't appreciate me or haven't appreciated me or haven't shown appreciation by your action. And so now I have more discrimination, and I'm transformed here like this butterfly. So this lesson has taught me how to transform, how to discriminate against making poor decisions. And so here in the hopes and fears, it's like my intention is to have the best success, the best of luck. And now this is what's driving me. It's no longer whatever was driving me in the past, because I want to succeed towards freeing myself, working with what I can in order to make better decisions here with resourcefulness and this fortune, so I could be fulfilled. And this is the outcome card, which means you will be fulfilled. Okay, and because this is in the near future here with this companionship, I feel like if it was a romance gone bad, we're now like seeing some balanced like understanding here with a handshake, like companionship, like we're equally mutually supportive here with companionship. So if this is a new person, I'm making new friends, I'm on new horizons, or this is a new horizon in this current situation here, this situation that went awry, romance gone bad, friendship gone sideways. You know, like you're wooing me, like even if this is a friend, you know, they woo you, they buy you things, or they like yeah, like I'll drive you around, like I don't know, like you know, we have like rose colored glasses about this person, and then this person's true color shows themselves. And so for some of you guys, like I said, it's either finding a new phase here where we can find harmony and mutual understanding and actual back to the basic friendship, like companionship, what matters. Or we have to leave this situation and sort of use our resourcefulness, our understanding that there wasn't an appreciation here. And so I'm very discerning about getting stuck in the same patterns. You know, I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want to be stuck in whatever this thing is here, you know, seduced. Wow, my goodness. So it's a little different than yesterday's reading, but I mean, we still see this fortune here. What's under that? Enthusiasm in reverse. You guys, if you guys watch yesterday's reading, when I did this, it's kind of the same, you know, same cards here. So what's enthusiasm in reverse? So I do feel this could be different for a lot of you guys, but you know, if you don't want to deal with this person in an old energy, but you still want to be friends with this person or try this person for whatever way, I think there's a new page here. There's a new chapter here. There's a decision you get to make to work with this person. But I feel like the lesson here was about self-love with this pink rose. You know, you had to go through some sort of self-love lesson or some sort of seeing the truth here, but the choice will be yours, whether you want to engage with this. I think this person, regardless, there's a choice to engage again. Okay. And if they're in the same sort of pattern, it's like you're no longer playing pattern. You're now moved to this new, you know, making new friends. I want to repeat it. So I think this enthusiasm in reverse is like, even if it's this person, I think there's a happiness, but I can no longer trust. I'm discerning. So how can I be happy as I ever was? I can't because I don't trust. I can't excite, you know, and even if it's moving on to new horizons, it's like I'm already sort of jaded, if I will. Like I don't trust people anymore. I can't sort of open up anymore. You know, I've been taken advantage of. This is the truth I've experienced. And so when I've been put in front with a new choice here, it's like, okay, I'm not even interested in dating so much. So I just keep people like in friendship now. It's like, I don't want to try the romance road. I already tried that, or, you know, I already tried getting a best friend here, and this best friend took advantage or borrowed money and never paid me back in some way. And so it's like, I'll just kind of keep it kosher. Yeah, convention. I feel like you're keeping something kosher and you're using discernment. And I feel like you might be more guarded here, you know, like definitely there's boundaries. There's definitely protecting yourself. Okay, well, let's see what the oracles want to say to you about this. Spirit, for pile number 3, what is this about? Oh my goodness, pile number 3 is reading here. What is it that pile 3 needs to know then about this situation, this circumstance? Home. Look at this convention sitting in the little house, So something's cramping your style, or we couldn't stay there no more. Our style got cramped, and home and convention. And this number 4 talks about stability. So it's like, I don't know, there's something here about something cramping your style or some form of stability here that needs to be looked at in some way. So home feeling like home, but we're not feeling like home. And this is enthusiasm in reverse. Like, it doesn't feel like home. I feel at a place, I feel I've outgrown the situation, You've outgrown a situation here. No longer feels good. No longer feels like home. And look, this person is sitting with this like jug. This jug has is one of those, I don't know what we call it, urns. And here's one too, traditional sort of urn. It's like the resourcefulness here is beside you. I think you have tools here now, that even if you were to repeat something or do something here, it's like, you're not there no more. Like, you have the resource now to break out of this thing. Spirit, why are we seeing this? Harvest in reverse. There's not anything to harvest. There's nothing to take away here. Look at this harvest in reverse too. The harvest gives me Empress energy. This cornucopia, this basket of goods, it's like, maybe we're seeing that a situation isn't as stable as we thought it could be for us. It's like, no, it doesn't show me value. There's no value to be had here. No fruit. Practice in reverse. So repeat how many times, it might have taken us many, 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 many times. It's like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm done with the practice. I'm done not getting fruit. I'm done with this whole thing. I think a lot of you guys are just done, and because of this choice, I feel like there's going to be the opportunity to repeat this thing or to experience this thing again. And it's up to you, but I don't know. I feel like you guys have transformed. I feel like you're discerning and you're no longer, it's not even, it is discrimination. So it's like, no, I already have a bad taste in my mouth. I've already had a bad experience, not once, not twice, not three times. Look, endurance. Like, I had to battle this thing. And so maybe now I feel like I need to shut myself, up, like shut myself away or create this boundary from this thing. New rules. Ancestral wisdom. We are your ancestors and we love you. We walk the earth many years before you. We ask you at this point in time to learn and grow from your past experiences. You are legacy, and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. So we're breaking ancestral patterns here, where we're maybe putting up with situations that don't treat us with respect or appreciate us. And we've had to learn this lesson. And because there's so many times that we've done it, but I feel like this is so many lifetimes. This is our ancestors. And it's like, we had to break this curse or this lesson, like really, really connect to self-love, really, really like you break this pattern. Relationships are just a mirror image of your own life, how you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. Yes, that's exactly what happened here. There was an experience with someone, whether it be an intimate relationship or friendship, whatever it is. It was an experience with someone that showed their true colors, but really how you were involved in this person. How are we engaged? We have to really sort of understand ourselves and really look at that root. So if something was not good, we were perpetuating a not good situation. And so we're seeing clearly here, but in the fortune, and the fortune is, I'm freed. I'm freed of this pattern, or I could finally see my value, or I finally see a situation for what it is, that it's not showing me the same thing here. Submission in reverse. So yeah, it's like, I don't want to submit to this person, like that Dua Lipa song, like we could just give in, just give in, and maybe we kept giving in. Like, this person keeps asking me for a ride, this person keeps wanting to sleep with me, this person keeps, I don't know, and it's not the person that keeps doing it, it's you keep doing it, and I know it's hard to hear this in this way, but it's you keep doing it, you keep allowing it, you keep investing in it, you keep giving of yourself in this thing. And it's like, no more pile number 3, no more free ride, no more open cup, no more Queen of Cups. Okay, of course we want to be compassionate, but we're now in Queen of Swords here. And the Queen of Swords is very wise when it comes to laying boundaries. You know, she is wise. She uses her understanding, her logic of a situation. She doesn't use ego. She uses her experience and her mind, not her emotions, not her traumas. She lays boundaries and she's open and honest. And so I feel like this is what you're doing, or what you need to do. But I feel like, yeah, you're discriminating now. Okay, so the choice is yours, whether you want to repeat it again or not. And I feel like a lot of you guys do not, but don't shut yourself out, because I feel like Spirit says there's a way to find balance. Here's the scales. There's a way to find companionship, agreement, and maybe we have to just understand, what does it mean, to have like rose-colored glasses, or like romance and companionship. First we need companionship in order to have romance. Maybe we're trying to jump the gun here or something, or see the best in some situation that just was not it. But anyway, I'm repeating myself. Beautiful. Oh, what I did get was this book, because I felt like, was it for you guys? Yeah. I grabbed this book for pile 3 because I don't know, there's something telling me that there's a message here for you, or at least something. So let's see. I'm going to flip to a page right here. We'll read both. 274 could be a number. Okay, so 2 is about partnership. 7 is about the Chariot, which is integrations of shadows, but it's also about success, which we have here, fortune, and we also have fulfillment. Okay, so success, and then 4 is stability, which we were really getting stability. Okay, so this is coming through. It says, to begin the process of the book of positive aspects, purchase a notebook that feels good when you hold it in your hands, because of the action that will be involved in this process. Not only is an improved degree of focus certain, but with the focus will come an increase in both your clarity and in your feeling of being alive. Now, on the cover of your notebook, write my book of positive aspects. So we might have to write we might even have to do pros and cons, but positive aspects. We might be feeling jaded. We might be jaded, or we might be hurt, that we need to come back to what's the positive aspects, and we write it down. Okay, so I feel like writing something down might be therapeutic. Now let's move to 275. So what is this? 5 is a challenging number here. At the top of the first page of your positive aspects notebook, write the name or a brief description of someone or something that you always feel good about. It could be the name of your lovable cat, your best friend, or the person you are in love with. It could be the name of your favorite city or restaurant. And as you focus upon the name and title that you have written, ask yourself these questions. What do I like about you? Why do I love you so much? What are your positive aspects? Wow. I don't know. You could do that. Don't do that. I don't know how that's going to help someone, but it came through for someone. Okay, so that's your message. Beautiful pile number 3. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 4. You guys picked the Iris Oracle cards, and we're doing a Celtic cross. We're looking at what it is Spirit wants to communicate here as far as a revelation regarding your past, present, future energies. Okay, and please go watch the intro if you have any questions. But energy here could be people around you, your situation, circumstance. We could be coming from a different perspective other than your own. And so it's important to have like an open sort of mind when we're listening to this, because we might be very focused on our own perspective, that we're not seeing it from another point of view. So this energy is energy around you. Okay, all things considered here. So we're going to look and see what Spirit wants to communicate to you, beautiful angels. Let's see. So Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. I don't know if I called you 3. Pile 4. What is going on here energetically? What are these revelations going on in regards to pile number 4's energy? Thank you, Spirit. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. Thank you so much, pile 4, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. So blessed to be here doing this reading. So I was almost like hesitant to flip it. Oh my God, you guys see that? So covering card, it says twin with 57. Oh my goodness, Spirit, are we going to do this? Okay. Twin in reverse. Overall energy. Let's keep going. I'm going to make any assumptions here. Crossing energies. The gallery of those who came before with the number 24 and the number 47. Protect your heart. Crossing energy. Okay. What's going on subconsciously for pile number 4 here, Spirit? Pile number 4, subconscious energies. Dependency. Oh my goodness. Spirit. It just seems like it's going to be a very heavy reading, you guys. I didn't think it'd be very long. I'm keeping that one covered. That's in the past. Crowning card. Immediate future. I feel there's one more for the immediate future. Oh, 2 more. See self. Pile number 4. How do they see self? Environment. Hopes and fears. And finally, the outcome. Never to be taken literal. Outcome can change and shift. Okay. And bottom of the deck. Energy. Spirit to guide you. This reading is going to be one of these. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I sound disappointed. It's just, you guys are the last pile. I would have rather started with you guys. So those other piles were kind of intense, and this is probably the most intense one here because we're talking about the spiritual soul connection. Okay. If you guys are not identifying with the soul connection, it doesn't necessarily have to be a twin flame so much, but most likely, okay, then probably not your reading and you don't got to waste your time here. I feel like there's a soul connection here with this twin. Okay. So what's going on here? There's a big struggle and a big challenge. Okay. And this is a part of this journey, the struggles, the challenge, and whatever of this soul connection, because 2 souls need to find union and harmony and balance. They don't need to, but the whole point of the twins coming together is to ascend, to find harmony, to find balance. Okay. And so your challenge here, okay, again, this could be your twin, this could be you. I don't know here. I'm just going to read the energy. Okay. I wasn't planning on doing any love readings. This is why I'm still annoyed at Spirit here, but the crossing energy, protect your heart and the gallery of those who came before you. Ooh, I could be reading both of you guys. You're going to have to determine what's going on here, and I feel it's being mirrored for sure. This could be relevant to both. There's a lot of pain in the heart space that needs healing, and we could both be protecting ourselves. In fact, we both are protecting ourselves. Okay. And we might be protecting ourselves in different ways. And so we might think our way of protecting ourselves is not really, we don't see it. And we might just see how the other person is protecting themselves. Okay. Or we might actively be knowing we're protecting ourselves. But either way, I think both are protecting self. And when we protect ourselves, we have to understand, are we protecting ourselves through trauma response? Are we actually protecting ourselves, or are we using a coping mechanism to keep people out? And when I say keep people out, even if we're the runner, even if we're the one being more open or pursuing or exerting energy, that doesn't mean we're not protecting our heart. We could be actively, proactively chasing someone unavailable as a way to protect our heart. I chase this person, I give love out, because as long as I'm doing that, I don't let people in. And so I protect myself, so this is why I go around people who are emotionally unavailable. Don't show me love. And so there's a challenge here because we're protecting ourselves by the action we're doing, and we might not be seeing how we're protecting ourselves, or we might be too guarded, but we need to heal whatever's in the heart here. And we need to identify what coping mechanisms we use, defense mechanisms we use. And so the gallery who came before, I feel like these souls, these twins, met each other in the past. There's an understanding here. There's soul recognition, and there's a recognition here that we've had a past here and that there's something here. But I feel like we're also healing a lot of ancestral wounds. Okay. A lot of pains, a lot of trauma, a lot of shadow, a lot is coming through here. And this is what is the challenge, because it hurts when we got to clear blocks. It hurts when we go through the shadows. It hurts when we have to look at our wounds. It hurts. It hurts when someone else is showing a mirror to us, our own wound, our own shadow, our own triggers and traumas. It hurts when we see your twin or someone we love acting in shadow and trauma. It hurts. Either way you slice it and dice it, it hurts. And so we're going through this. So dependency. We have codependency here with you and your twin. Either you're the avoidant, dismissive, or you're the anxious attachment. But I feel there's a dependency on how we cope in connection that we need to look at. We have to understand our own attachment style. This will give you answers to a lot of things. Why must I attach to this person? Why is it that there's this dynamic going on with this person? Because we have an attachment that is creating a dependency of sorts. It doesn't matter whether we're running away or we're clinging to and chasing. The dependency is dependent on that way that I engaged that's creating suffering. And we might know that we avoid, or we might know that we're anxious, but now we need to look at ourselves and resolve our own way of attachment. Not say, why do they run? Or, or why do they keep pressuring me? Or that's external focus. And we could look at that all day long. And in fact, I feel like with all these eaten apples, I feel like there's been repeat cycle. And all these repeat cycles, we learn, experience, whatever we do. But I feel like we've come empty-handed in some way here. And we just keep sort of repeating the same cycle here. And we feel very chained. And I'm getting Devil, I'm getting Capricorn, I'm getting like very fixed, obsessive thoughts, obsessions, and this is very twin flame. We're obsessed with this person. We're obsessed with their thoughts. We're obsessed with the way we cope, and lots of tears, lots of pain. Like, this is so heavy, you guys. So we need to resolve, what is our coping mechanism? Why are we attached the way we're attached? And so this is in the shadow. So I feel like we're in the subconscious. So I feel like we still have an attachment thing we need to look at. We need to understand ourselves, or else we'll forever feel chained to this person or the situation, or become obsessively pulled. We have to. And so spirit number one is telling you, we're guiding you. This is spiritually guided. This is happening through you for a very good reason. Okay? Because on the other side of this door is salvation. And you're being guided towards this. So it doesn't matter if it's lows or highs and lows. The only thing that matters is you're being guided towards this door. And to get there are lots of highs and lows. The only thing, though, is we could stall along the way when we don't look at our own codependency, the chain that keeps us back. It keeps us from being guided. We have to listen to the guide in order to get there. But if we're sort of diverting, externally focused, we don't get guided to the door. We're not listening to spirit. We're listening to the trauma. We're listening to the bond. We're listening to the ego. We're listening to the pain, the obsession, the devil, the illusion. Which are we listening to? Spirit? Surrender, even if it hurts more, even if we know it's true? Or are we listening to the immediate ego, the fear, the clingy, the running, the reactionary? And sometimes we do this because it's so trauma that it's the first immediate thing. But how many times now with all these apples? I get it the first time is like it took us by surprise. The second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. It's like, okay, now we got to look at this thing. Now we really got to look at this thing. Whatever this thing is, we need to heal, because it's creating this block and this chain and this need to look at this heart space so we can overcome this thing. Noble in the passing position. 6 is lovers. The destined lovers here. And so Taurus energy coming through. Capricorn, like I said, Gemini. So Noble. I need to be honest. And maybe we know this now, because I feel like for this group, there's been attempt after attempts of hard-learned lessons, or like just it's been repeated here. And so maybe we just finally are at the point, no more suffering or no more lies, or really want the truth. Okay, good. And we got to get there, because at first maybe we're like, I could still, the ego thinks they could do something. The ego could still win over. The ego could still manipulate, and it's like we realize, no, I'm still chained. No, 10 times I've tried this thing. It's causing more stuckness. So now we want Noble. Now we want the truth. Good. Okay, so let's see what is happening here. Repopulation in the reverse. We don't want to do the same thing. We don't. And I don't know how, though, I think. We want to break a cycle. We want to break out. We want abundance here, but we don't know how to have health and growth in this situation to make something better, you know? And so Spirit is saying, we're not responsible for making something fruitful, for producing the thing itself. You're not responsible for making union. You're not responsible for bringing you guys together. You're not responsible for whether it's fruitful. All you're responsible for doing is for listening to Spirit. And when it comes to shedding and not doing certain things that are getting in the way of the journey, getting in the way of the union, getting in the way of the fruit. And trust me, you're doing things to get in the way of the union and the fruit. And you might already know, because I think in this one that I'm reading, or at least again, everyone on their different sort of page of this journey, or their point in time in this journey. But I feel like for this energy here, it seems like in the recent past, or at least this is more present, it's like I no longer want to do the cycle. Okay, because we might still be somewhere here, you know, one more cycle, maybe two more, I don't know. But we're going to hit a breaking point eventually where we just want to break free. So Spirit is saying the only way to break free is we have to identify our own dependency and break this chain. That's what we're responsible for. Nothing else. We don't need to align anything. We don't need to do nothing. We just need to heal the ancestral wounds, undo the trauma in the heart space. Okay. I was going to say unbreak my heart, pretty much. So we have like walls around our heart. You know, I'm hearing, oh my gosh, why are songs keep coming through? Unbreak my heart, say you love me again. Undo this, I don't know what the words are. You might want to look this up. It's coming very loud, very loud. So what is this? This is unbreak my heart. So I think you guys had a past life or a past opportunity to make something work, and it keeps failing and it's not working. And it's like, say you love me again. Like, I don't want to be without you. Like, dependency for one. Like, yes. Okay, we miss each other here, but I feel like we can't do codependencies, you know, because we're not solving anything. We're not healing our hearts. And so I feel like with this protect your heart, there's so much energy here, you guys. Like, how long is this reading going to be? And some of you guys are like, who's this reader who just keeps talking? I feel what's coming through here is the runner. Or at least the person who's got more guarded, protecting themselves, you know? And I feel like this person is, you know, they protect themselves, they run, they avoid. And I feel like with the devil here, there's like an addiction, potentially chaining this person. They might have a dependency on some addiction. And it's like, whatever the vice is, you know, because these are twin flame journeys. And twins always have things they got to overcome, like addictions, or, you know, there's another marriage, a third party situation. It's an age gap. It's like two different social classes, or like some major big thing that has to be overcome. This one, I feel there's like an addictive thing, or like a chain in their world, you know, like a bad marriage that they're stuck in, or like I'm addicted to drugs, or I have a vice, or I have a drinking problem, or I'm just so stuck in protecting myself, the avoidant, that is creating pain. And I feel this person is like coming through as that song, like, say you love me again, like I want another chance, you know? I don't know, I'm singing this is so funny, but it's like, I want another chance. Okay, well, and maybe somebody here is like, no bowl. Yeah. So I don't know which twin you are. You're probably the one that's saying no bull, no more pattern here. I see your dependency on this drug or this thing, you know, and you want to just repeat a pattern, or you want to have another chance. You want me to say you love me again, or I love you again, or be chained to you. And it's like, but I don't want any more lies. I want just truth. I don't want you protecting yourself. I don't want you shutting me out. And listening to the guides. So I have all twins in different levels coming through here. My goodness. You need to know where you're at. We still didn't identify we're going through early stages. We've had enough stages, and now we know the truth, and we want nothing but the truth. We're the avoidant that's running, and now we want another chance, and we want to see where our twin's at. Or we're completely evolved to the point where we're finally listening to the guides, and we're going through this door saying, no more. I'm not repeating a pattern. Okay, Spirit. No more. Okay, immediate future. The lonely journey of the priestess, 62. Love grows love in reverse, 40. Number 4 is the emperor in reverse and can't be caught. Number 10, avoidant. Avoidant, can't be caught. Lonely journey. Okay, oh my goodness. Let's unpack this thing. So 62 or the number 8. 8 is all about movement, change. It's also strength. Strength means I have to show courage. I have to face my fears. I could be way held back when the strength card is here. And what do I use to hold myself back? I hold myself back because I'm trying to protect myself. And then I feel lonely. Okay, the lonely journey of the priestess means I have to go through a journey of experiencing so that I learn my lessons, so that I understand. Okay, 8 is also star, which stars talk about having our wish and healing. This is a healing journey about getting to you where you're needing to go and doing what you need to do in order to overcome what you need to. It feels lonely. It feels sad sometimes, but only we can overcome certain things. So we have Leo and we have Aquarius. So love grows love. This is saying if we block out love from giving love, we can't receive it. If we're constantly giving, we can't receive. If we're constantly blocking it, we can't give or receive. So the importance of flow, and this came out in yesterday's private reading, so someone might be here from their private reading. A heart, 2 valves, incoming and outgoing. It pumps, the heart pumps. Okay, and so the incoming has to take in blood, and the outgoing, it pumps out the blood. If any one of those valves on the heart is blocked, the heart will not function. It has to receive and it has to give. Okay, and so there's a block in receiving or in a block in giving. And we have to identify which codependency, which pattern we are sort of falling back on. We overgive because we are uncomfortable receiving, or we don't know how to receive love because we have trauma here that's an ancestral wound. And so we keep running and avoiding. And it's like, I want to be guided. I feel lonely, It's like, love me again. Okay, love you again, then let's start to give love. And the only thing that could ever be missing is what we're not giving. If we feel unloved, it's because we're not giving love. Okay, now this doesn't mean from a trauma place. I'm overgiving. No, that's not giving love. That's a codependency. That's a transactional. So when we give unconditional love, it can't be missing. It's there. It's present. I'm giving it. And we create more of it. If I'm withholding, then it's not present. And it keeps lacking. So only that in which you're not giving is the thing that's lacking here. Okay, so I feel there's a need to give love and allow love to flow. Not run. Okay, and even if, let's say, we're giving, we're running. How are we running? We say, I'm giving love. It's like we're running by pushing out energy. So we're really like running away from ourselves, from actually confronting and letting ourselves be open and vulnerable and let love in. It's like, as long as I chase unavailable people, as long as I go and I give, then it's like, well, then you're running from yourself. Because if you were really to involve yourself with someone who was to give you love and be open or vulnerable, it's like, ooh, that doesn't feel good. No. You might think, well, yeah, it would feel good. Are you sure? Because you're doing some sort of block here from receiving or giving. I don't know, whichever side you fall on here. So we're having to deal with this thing. This isn't the immediate future. This is the journey of how do I give and receive love healthy? How do I know when I'm the one running from myself or running from the other? Because there's 2 sort of runners here. Okay, now 10's the end of cycle and a transformation. It's also Wheel of Fortune, which talks about cycles, patterns, but also destiny, fated, and stars talk about destiny and healing. Okay, so this is definitely this guided journey where we're learning about healing, we're learning about cycles, we're learning about patterns, we're learning about giving and receiving love in a healthy way, not blocked. so we could get to the promised land. And I feel like this little stripy hill over here is giving me like a beehive. I don't know why, it's not definitely, but it's like leading to the beehive. What's the beehive? What we can create, what we can work together. This beehive, they work together to create something. I get 3 pentacles. It's like the journey here is in learning how to work together, to manifest together, to collaborate, to be open to work together. That's where we're being led. But look at this windy journey. It's up, it's down, it's left, it's right, you know? And I feel like here is like pattern, 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 repeat, repeat, repeat. It's like, but nothing's being manifested or created here. 18 is the moon. So what's the moon? I need to deal with emotions. I need to look at the truths, not to be, in moonlight here, become honest and deal with subconscious, be receptive to love and dealing with our emotions. Okay, so see self, rainbow transference. So look at 2 hands again, the energy between these 2 people. Again, like I said, because this is see self, like the self is like the twins, like the self is shared. And yes, we're autonomous beings here, but I feel like with these twins, there's a soul tie here to one soul signature, and it's very intense here. And so we feel each other's energy here. It's like a constant telepathy, but look at this rainbow. So one, there needs to be hope, okay? Like not hope that is the cause of your suffering. I pray, I was going to say cry. I pray, and hope and have this useless hope that doesn't get anywhere. No, all it does is create suffering. Okay. But hope meaning I know that the divine is going to bring my best outcome. I'm hopeful of this, whether it's with this person or someone else. I feel like for this group, this person is tied to your soul. There's no, the only reason why you would deny it or suppress it or run is because you don't want to believe this sort of truth. But there's an understanding here. Okay, there's someone who sees all of your aspects, the good, the bad, the ugly, and I feel like vice versa. And so we need to learn how to balance energies between these 2 people to understand each other in a way here that works together. Like I said, in this bumblebee hive, that in the 3D world, that reflects what's going on in the 5D, because I feel in the 5D, we understand each other, we see each other, we acknowledge every facet of our being. But here in the 3D, like, what the fuck's going on? And it's like, it's mirrored. It's like opposite. It's like creating the polar energy, because that's how energies work. One runs, one pulls, like polar magnets here that are creating 2 effects. Masculine, feminine energy is going to be 2 effects until we get grounded, till we get balanced, till we can come together. Okay, so I feel like there's this need to ground our energy and acknowledge the energy with the other twin here. 21 is the number 3, which is getting me 3 pentacles again. The 3s, like to work together, to take all perspectives from the twin into consideration here, not just your own, not just output energy. Look, even the back of these hands are showing it too, and all the stars, destined, healing, like we must sort of deal with the energy differently. This is all about energy and alchemy, okay? And if you're foreign to this and new to this, or it's like you don't understand this, then it's like it's going to be the process. It's going to be the journey. You're here guided, There's lots of readings out here. I know there's lots of toxic things when it comes to twins. Lots of people don't understand this unless you've gone on the journey. You seem crazy. Nobody knows what's going on. They think twins are soulmates. There's like, they start applying like real world, quote unquote, relationship rules to twins. No, there's nothing to do with any of this stuff. Only those who walk the journey know the journey, and every journey is completely different. It's a soul tie to another person who has the same soul signature as you, and it is very intense here, and there's magnified lessons of self that needs to be worked through. It's all energetic work. Okay, we can't get focused on the matrix. What are they doing? What are they not doing? But although it does involve the matrix, because we need to be very conscious. What are we doing? How are we attaching? How are we driving? How are we running? How are we defending? How are we protecting? We have to be awake, and we have to acknowledge. We can't resist and say, no, this isn't real, or we don't want to believe it. It's like, first we got to deal with what we're experiencing. Just because energy, we don't see it, doesn't mean it's not real. And we don't know how the light goes on and off, and we see dark and we see light. We see dark and light, but what is light? Can you put it in a jar? Just like the twin flame, this energy is real. It's happening here. Okay, we feel it. We understand there's something here that we can't ignore. You can't ignore this thing. But the whole purpose is, how do we balance and work together and manifest something? You're being called to manifest with this person. Now, you can't manifest with someone who's not available. You can't manifest as someone's running. You can't manifest as somebody who doesn't learn their codependencies. But the energies are so intertwined that when one twin, divine feminine, gets her shit together, gets in balance, understands herself, stops patterns, sticks with truth, listens to the divine, the whole connection ascends. The whole thing shifts. This is what she needs to do. And I think this is where she's at. No bull, I'm walking through this door. Okay? Or at least this is where she's getting, because it's not happening any other way. Environment, 41. No one is yours but you. Exactly. So we're breaking codependencies. Even though I have a twin, even though our energy is intertwined, I'm my own individual self. And I am autonomous from you. And I'm learning how to separate my energy from yours. Okay, and we need to learn this. No matter how obsessive, no matter how pulled, no matter how intertwined, it takes a while for us to get to understand this, because it's foreign to us. But if we're always involved in our twin's energy, then we can't make right, truthful decisions, because we're pulled by other people's traumas and experiences and our own traumas. And so I feel like there's a need to understand, what's your trauma? What shadows do you have? What is your energy? Claim your own energy, and with the 41, which is 5, this is all about the rebuild, but it's going through change, working with the intuition, tapping into the heart, really connecting with your own energy, deviating and separating it from your twin, because right now I feel like it's so intermeshed, and we need to identify what's ours. And this way, then the intuition becomes more clear, because sometimes we can't tell the difference between, is this my twin talking? Is this my intuition? Is this my trauma, my fear? How do we know? We don't know until we can, first of all, pull ourselves out. Okay, and you say, well, how do I pull myself out? This is why it's important to get present, grounded, listen, not acting from the subconscious and the program, not running, not pushing, not overgiving, not externalizing. We have to get very centered and listen, silence, calm the mind, calm the energy, and then observe. Then you'll see your own self. Okay, that must become a practice, so that the intuition then becomes louder, because you need the intuition to connect to the divine. Otherwise, how do you get led to this door? You stay in the circus, you stay chained to this merry-go-round, you stay here and you don't want to be here. This doesn't feel good at all. At all. Okay, so what is the hopes and fears? Party leader in reverse. Number 6, lovers again. All these stars, lots of Aquarius energy. I'm getting Pisces energy. Like I said, Taurus here, Capricorn, but lots of Aquarius. Okay, so what is this party leader in reverse? Okay, I'm getting like a 6 wands type energy here from this. People are in our life. Okay, and people see us in a certain way. Or we've had people in our world, parents, friends. We have an image to keep up. People expect this of me. This is what I look like. This is the story I'm attached to. As long as we're attached to a version of ourselves, we are still upkeeping the trauma and the facade. We have to go through an ego death. Twin flame journeys are all about ego death. Detaching, and I can't say it enough. What are we detaching? We were becoming detached to run away? No, we're detaching from the identities. We're detaching from the ego stories. It's not the fact that we're doing these things that's the problem. It's the attachment to these things that we're giving it life. I am the single person. I am the mother, the father, the brother, the sister. I am. No, you're not. You're not those things. We have to detach. We're the divine light being. Okay, we're a divine light being. That's what we are. We're consciousness itself. We're being. Everything that we've done has been an experience that comes and goes. Okay, and the example I use here is like, let's say all of a sudden you fall down the stairs, God forbid, and you completely wipe your whole memory. Ugh, what happened to pile number 4? They don't exist anymore. No, you're still there. You don't carry anything of the past anymore. You're still there. What's still there then? What is that that's still there? That's the you. That's the I am. Okay, but you're not the stories. You're not what's happened to you. You're none of those things. You're what you were at when you were born, before your name, before your gender, before your experiences, before you started being called pile number 4. That's you. That's the you you're coming back to. You have to connect there. And how do we connect back there? We don't got to go find it. It's not out there. We lost it. No, it was always here, but it started getting covered up by, stories, and people wanted me to do this, and I got married and I ended up doing that. And now I think I'm the wife, and I think I'm upkeep. No. Ego death, ego death, ego death. Detach, detach, detach. Why do we detach? We detach, 1, so that we don't suffer. 2, the ego death is required in order for there to be an ascension of spirit within you. We ascend so we can become more enlightened beings, so we can raise consciousness. And that's what the twins are doing, raising consciousness here on earth, so that we vibrate higher. We're no longer coming with egos, creating wars, creating suffering, doing transactional. It's all about unconditional love. How do we love unconditionally? We have to remove our ego. Not love based on jealousy, not love based on transactions, what this person can do and didn't do, what they said, what they didn't do. Oh, they got to be here for me, chained to me. No, it's not possession. Love isn't possessive. Love isn't jealous. Love doesn't require anything. Love just is. It's acceptance. Love accepts exactly as it is. It doesn't seek to change or force. It doesn't force its will or way or want anything different. If it wants something different, it's ego. It's trying to force its change in there. So ego death. We're going through an ego death. We have to be actively involved in the ego death. Because when we have patterns that we're still involved with, it's such a pattern ingrained, and we don't even realize we're doing it. It's subconscious here in the subconscious. It keeps you chained to that old version of you. The version of me that would respond in this way, react in that way, and deal with things in the way that I do. I don't even realize I'm doing this in a relationship. And I always just assumed this was right. I give. Like, how could that be wrong? Yeah, but why are we doing it? What's the intention behind it? Are we giving in order to attach? Are we overgiving so we can prove something? That's ego. What are we doing exactly here? We need to understand our own reasoning and our intention. We could say it's good, but even good intentions are probably the worst intention. We shouldn't have any expectation or intention. Now, this doesn't mean I lower my bar and have no expectations. No, this is I'm in the present moment without ego, ready to love and accept. Ready to love and accept. Open channel of the heart. This is what twins do. There is nothing in the heart other than an open channel. Okay, the heart has no blocks. The only blocks we have are in the lower chakras, through the trauma, through the ego, through the experience, through the things that we need to do the shadow work. Then the energy can't flow to the heart. Okay, I did this for the other pile, and I feel I need to do it here too, because this is going to give you a good understanding of what happens here. When we go through meeting our twin and we're awakened here, okay, some of you guys might resonate with pile number 2, the soul thingy. We're going through an awakening, okay, a kundalini. Whatever you're going through here is energetic. It gets triggered by the twin. And so energy flows through the energy centers here. These are all the chakras. Okay, this is the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. These are the spiritual chakras. This is the heart, and this is the lower chakras, which are the divine masculine rules, the lower, and the divine feminine rules, the higher. This is why most feminine are more intuitive. They're more in tune with that sort of spirituality when it comes to being guided by spirit. They're more receptive. Okay, it doesn't mean that masculines aren't, but it's just, how it sort of flows here when it comes to this divine journey. Now, I'm not talking gender. And if you get triggered by gender, then I'm probably not your reader. I'm talking solely energy here. So divine feminine, divine masculine, 2 polarities in this dance, in this twin flame journey. Okay, 2 polarities. It has to be masculine and it has to be feminine. It can't be anything other than that. 2. One here, one here. That's it. That's all it is. Okay. Energy. So we have traumas and triggers that arise, and they get trapped here in the lower chakras. This is the only place we house blocks, in the lower chakras. Okay. And I do suggest you go look at the other pile, because I don't know how much I want to unfold in this one reading, but when we suffer from addictions, when we have intimacy issues, when we are egoic and we have this sort of need to prove or need to accomplish sort of energy, this is all egoic stuff. So there's trapped experiences we had that we need to do shadow work in order to release the energy traps here, so that the prana, which is the energy, can flow. The kundalini mother, the serpent, the energy, whatever you want to call it, it's a burst of energy that flows when we're awakened from the root chakra all the way up to the crown chakra. Okay. And so we can do a bunch of spiritual practices in order for the energy to flow, but it's important we remove blocks here in order for the energy to flow. And this is why the divine feminine gets sparked. She starts her journey. Okay. And she has to deal with this in order for her to go and let the energy flow all the way up here. And so her third eye starts to open. She's capable of reading tarot, getting downloads, having dreams, signs, symbols, synchronicity. She's now in tune with the spiritual world, but it doesn't mean she doesn't have any blocks here. There's just some energy seeping up. It's already been opened, and she's learning about unconditional love. But once she sort of hones her energy, she knows how to deal with her intuition. She speaks her truth authentically. She's burnt a lot of her traumas and triggers. And when I say burnt, this is literally shadow work. When we go to that memory, okay, that memory that has happened, that experience, and we greet it with love. We infuse that situation with love. And we come in there and we embrace the inner child. That inner child feels safe. That inner child can release that trauma. And it could take many sort of visits, many times being patient. It's not a one and done. Okay, because your energy knows. It's like if a child was crying and we're just like trying to coddle it so it could shut up, it's going to know. And you're just, okay, quiet now, no. It's like, okay, cry, child. I'm here for you. Be patient, love that inner child, support that inner child, visit it as much as you can. And so that inner child's going to know. Eventually, it's like, well, if you're coming to me, you mean this story is not real? No, it's not real. It's never been real. It's just a trapped energy here. So we got to detach from that experience. The only reason why it feels painful is because we're still attached. We think we're that I that experienced this. We're not the I that experienced this. We're still attached to that identity. We think we're the body that experienced this, but we're not the body. This is a very spiritual journey in regards to our energy. And our energy here is now being awakened to this other world, this other dimension. And it might seem very woo-woo, if you've never gone through this journey, you're thinking, what? This sounds all crazy. But it's like, no, well, isn't it crazy? You've been seeing signs, symbols, synchronicities, and all of this other stuff that's going on. This is pretty crazy. This is really intense for a reason. Okay, and so now the divine feminine goes and she gets grounded and she learns about unconditional love. She learns meditation. She learns how to find peace. She understands her codependencies. She heals her inner child. She addresses her addictions. She does whatever she needs to, and now energy's flowing really good up here. She needs to find balance in herself. Okay, the divine masculine is most likely really stuck here, dealing with addiction, dealing with intimacy issues. He's running. Okay, this is, again, whether he's the runner or not, this is only energy. He's focused on work. He's a doer. He's, used to being single and doing his own thing and doesn't want anyone ruining his vibe. Whatever his reason being, he needs to deal with this. And so when she's dealing with her energy, because the soul, again, is connected, he is forced to deal with his ishness here. And as he deals with this, he also burns his energy. And where do these two energies meet? They meet in the heart. They learn about unconditional love, compassion for each other. Okay, but the whole goal is to come to the heart center. Okay, it's not to have psychic abilities. It's not so we can read palmistry. It's not any of that. It's all so we can come to the heart. And what does coming to the heart mean? We show compassion here on earth. We're able to be pioneers, light workers, healers, okay, giving service to others out of a place of love and compassion. And so we, divine feminines, need to show compassion for the divine masculine. If he's suffering, if he's traumatized, if he's triggered, we can't be saying, what about me? I want XYZ. Well, then you're still got traps here. You're still expecting this divine masculine who has traumas and codependencies and addictions and fear of intimacy and all of this stuff to give you something. Why? Why? Unless it's your ego. So you need to start looking, okay? Looking at yourself. And when you look at yourself, you burn a lot of what you're needing to hear so energy can flow. And trust me, a little bit of burning and understanding, transmuting this will clear up a lot of noise here. You know, once you start leaning into this heart, showing compassion, which is why I keep going on and on about compassion and love, because compassion and love is the answer to burning the ego. Okay, now this doesn't mean avoid what's burning and traumatized within you and just say, oh, I'm just going to be a doormat and I'm just going to be accepting whatever they throw at me. No, it doesn't mean accept what they throw at you. This is unconditional love of self, learning self-love, value, and being compassionate to the traumas and the triggers of humanity, including your person, including your own self. But once you see it in yourself, it's like, I can't judge this person no more because I see this in myself. I see a dependency in myself. I see all of these shadows within myself. And as long as I know I had this stuff, I can't judge, you know? And so the only reason we judge on others is because we're still carrying judgment of ourselves. We need to release all that. All that's ego. All that is block. All that is preventing the union from coming together. And trust me, the divine feminine, when she has her shit together, the divine masculine will have to deal with his own blocks. But yes, he is independent. Okay, no one is yours but your own. And so he has a choice to make decisions here. But she can't be sort of, you know, like tying her own self-worth to whether he goes drinking on Friday or whether he runs or not, or whether he is balancing it out. Like, no, it doesn't matter here. We need to do the ego death. Suppression by a star being by hands unworthy. So what's going on? I feel like there's a lot of devilly energy. We feel oppressed. We feel held back or held down, you know, and no one can hold you down. No energy can suppress you. There's no such thing as, if you believe it, you can go ahead and believe it, okay? The only reason why we would feel this weird energy stuff that is what's holding me down or holding me back, we're keeping that alive. Nobody can fuck with your energy if you're in tune with your own energy. You are the light being. The light eradicates the darkness and the shadow. So you got to find your own light so you can eradicate the shadows. The more light you make, the less shadow there is, the less darkness, the less oppression. We have to make light. We have to make light, okay? And you might be, I'm not an alchemist. How do I make light? How we make light is we have to, like I said, look at the trauma and the shadows that are still trapped in your blocks of chakras, which is experiences you had in which the ego is now in fight or flight. And it's doing this to keep you safe. So I used an example in the other reading, and I'll use it here again. Let's say, for example, we, you know, or now have troubles being social because when we were younger, we got made fun of or bullied. Now we have a trap here in our sacral chakra, trusting people, communicating our truth, expressing ourselves. And so we're shy, we avoid. And so now it flares up anytime we're in a position, let's say, where there's people around and like we get put in the spotlight, you know, we get put in the spotlight. It's like, oh, it's like your ego kicks into overdrive and it's going to react how it does. That's still something we got to deal with. You're not innately shy or have the social anxiety for no reason. So when we do shadow work, we got to connect back to that childhood that it was bullied or traumatized in order for us to meet that child with compassion and love, you know? And the only way to get rid of this shadow is to give it love. Love is light. And so when we love it, when we give it the light, it ceases to be in the shadow. It now comes to the surface. It's no longer something that's driving the agenda. We have to eradicate those shadows, you know? And we could do one by one like this, okay, which is a lot. We don't have to do it this way. And this is why what I always communicate here, the best way to get rid of those traumas, there's one way. And the one way here is detachment from the body, saying that you are the person who experienced that you are your body, that you are the separate I that experienced. No, you're not. The minute you know that you're a divine being, all of those traumas, every attachment you have to that experience goes away with it. You now know that that was just an illusion, that your attachment to that identity, I'm that child, I'm that adolescent who got bullied, I was the person who got whatever, went through that abuse. Okay, I'm not saying the abuse didn't happen. I'm saying you're not the one that the light being getting abused. It's an experience that's happened. And so if we identify with the one being abused, we keep that story and we keep that attachment. And we have to understand that we're a light being. We're not the body. We're not the person here that, it's like nothing can impact the I am. Nothing can impact the I am. Okay, so this is very layered here, but you need to understand this, because whatever you experience is the body that's experienced it. Your light being hasn't. And so we detach and we connect more to the divine and the divine being that we are. And now all those blocks seem to sort of fall to the wayside. We could start with major blocks that we have, but I feel like you feel very oppressed. And I feel like this star being by hands unworthy, like I almost feel like we are projecting that out there is, I think we're making judgment. This person's running, but it's this person's fault, or it's this person. No, whatever you're seeing out there is actually going on within you. So if you're saying they're doing this, it's you. It's you. And you might say, I'm doing the opposite. It's like, yeah, but you're suppressing that shadow part. So it's like if this person is very independent and free, it's like maybe you have a part of independence and freedom here that you want to connect to, that you've shunned, that you've been overgiving, over-involved, over-attached. You're anxious. It's like, but this person's free, independent, and you're like, you've suppressed this thing. So it's showing you a mirror. Connect to your independence. Don't suppress it anymore. You might have had to take care of a parent at a young age. And it's like, you lost your childhood here. And so you see this person and then you think, well, they're selfish. They're just doing what they want. It's like, well, you suppressed a part of yourself here because you couldn't do what you wanted. And now you thought it was, you're doing this thing for everyone else. It's like time to nurture that child. Don't suppress. Whatever you're seeing out there is a mirror of what's going on inside of you. Something you're suppressing that you're seeing in this person that you don't like. And this is why it's intense. This is the dependency you need to break. So if your person's running, you're doing opposites here, okay? But really, you're suppressing the running part of you, the part that wants to be free and independent or whatever. So, repeating myself, spirits to guide you, cosmic exploration. We need to, the cosmic exploration, seek outside of this matrixy sort of lens, what we're dealing in the physical. So let's see. Okay, I don't want this thing to stop recording because I'm getting long in the tooth. So let's see, spirits. File number 4, need to know about this twin flame journey. Practice, and we're in reverse. Repeat cycle. So we've got to try, and I feel like we've tried so many times here, we don't know our way out. Now we want the truth. So the Spirit's saying the only way out is the truth. Spirit wants to guide you, okay? And so through having experience certain amount of times, we start to see patterns. Don't beat yourself up if we keep repeating the same thing. Don't start to resist and say, I don't want to do the same pattern, so now I'm going to resist. It's like, but have we healed the thing? Because now what you resist persists. We're not transmuting anything. We're just causing a block. We're blocking the twin. We're refusing to engage. You're blocking. No, we don't block. We do the pattern fully conscious. We watch yourself. I'm not telling you to go do the same bad thing you did, but seriously, like, do the pattern with full awareness and understand why you're doing it. And then connect it back to self. You need to transmute why you do that pattern in the first place. Don't just block the pattern. Nothing's learned. Nothing's transmuted. We need to learn from doing. We need to learn from observing. We need to go back and crack it open. It's being suppressed. Okay, choice. So this is giving me Lovers, but it's like, what path do we want? Do we want to follow the path of divine, or do we want to follow the path of the same sort of behaviors we keep doing? The choice is ours. Intuition. So our intuitions, yeah, look at this. On this side, we have intuition. On this side, we have repeat patterns. And this, I feel, is like putting a block here. So we need to accept the fact that when we do patterns, it's for a reason of a lesson. And it's going to take as many times as it takes until we fully sit with our intuition to understand why we did it. So it's your choice to be conscious. It's your choice to now look and say, I need to listen to my intuition in regards to what's going on here. I can't just be reactionary. I can't just suppress and block and start to act in the matrix here. I have to tune into something higher and more cosmic, which is not this 3D. It's more energetic. Okay, another dimension here that's going on energetically here between you and your twin. And this is what's going to allow you to work with energy better so you can make decisions better. Get out of the matrix, get out of what you see 3D here so that you can tap into your intuition, so you can make better decisions. Meditation, reflection, self-observation, doing the hermit's work, not constantly worrying about whether this person's running or what they're doing or how they're, that sort of a thing. And like I said, if it's a runner, it's like this person just keeps running and getting the same results. It's like, I keep being alone. I keep pushing people out. It's like, yeah, the choice is yours. So what's your intuition telling you? That you're a common denominator of a block in your relationships. You keep running. You keep pushing people out. You're not having any growth here because of the fact that we're blocked in the experience. A father's love. Oh my goodness. A father's love for his son or daughter never dies. The strength gained from such love is often unquantifiable in that it can be tapped into at any time for whatever reason, whether your father is still here or past. A father's love is one of the strongest bonds of all of us will ever experience. So do we have father traumas here? Okay, which it doesn't necessarily mean it was the dad. It's just the father is the masculine energy that we were needing when we grew up. The masculine energy we need. So if we're masculine ourselves, it's like we don't have a good role model, or the role model we did have was like teaching us how to be. My father left my mom, or my father, I don't know, was absent. My father did whatever he wanted. And so he's my idol. It's like, what is your father showing you here? I don't know. My father always wanted a boy and I'm a girl. And so now I'm in this need to be independent. I don't need no man. I run. I have this energy, it's like, what is our connection to understanding what our role is here? Because I grew up, under one sort of understanding. We need a healthy masculine role model, a healthy masculine energy within us because we carry masculine, feminine energy. We need to get balanced. I feel there's a runner I'm talking to here. And even though there might be a lot of twins here and this message is helping many different ones, I feel like the main thrust of this thing is to this runner. Okay, I say runner. You may say, oh, no, runner. Yeah, you're running from yourself. We're both running from self, but running from this connection is running from yourself. You're not allowing yourself to love or receive and give love. Memories. Your memories are like diamonds in the treasure chest of your spirit. More and more memories are arising within you. Remember the happier moments with your loved ones who are here in spirit world. For neither time nor distance can stop the energy of love that you have for one another. So first of all, this gallery before the ones who come before. Ancestral. Okay, so there's a lot of ancestral wounds that are carried in the energy body. This is 6 cups. 6 cups. My energy in the past life, when I was little, whatever the experience is, this 6 cups, it gets imprinted in my memory banks. I need to go back and review these memories, or else they're running the show. They're running the fear. They're an auto program. The memory runs the program, and there's a lot of unhealthy memories. And as long as the memories are running the program, we're still in ego, because the ego is trying to protect itself. It's on automatic pushing people out. It wants to salvage itself, or it wants to cling to people. Whatever the pattern is, the ego is trying to save itself. It's fighting for its life. So we need to observe our own ego. It's on auto program based on experience we had in the past. And so we need to look at our masculine energy. We need to understand when we are, doing something out of a bad experience, or whether we're actually conscious in the present moment, listening to the intuition, being guided by the heart, being guided by compassion. This is also reconciliation. So some of you guys might really want reconciliation here, I feel, because again, say you love me again. I feel like there's this desire to connect, and we can only connect when we make the conscious choice to go down the path of listening to the intuition and breaking the ancestral patterns, not repeating the same habits, and looking at our own energy and being honest with ourselves and breaking the chains, honesty about ourselves, not projecting it on someone else or what someone else did. It's our own truth. Okay, we're not nobody else. We're not our twin. We're not our father. We're not our experience. We're not the adolescent. We're not even that little child. We are what we are right here, which is a being, the presence. That's who we need to connect to. Nothing else matters. But when we carry so much heavy trauma, we can't just pretend to be in the present moment. All those traumas and shadow work needs to be done so we can rid ourselves. But the irony is, once we get there, we realize we didn't need to do all that shadow work. We just needed to be. All of that was already pretend anyway, because we're none of those things. We never were. We're a divine being of light, exactly as we were born. That's what we are. All of those experiences you had are nothing. They don't take away from your being. You don't need to do any of this stuff. You just need to connect to that light being through meditation, through getting still, through getting balanced. Listen to your intuition. Spirit wants to guide you. This is a divinely guided relationship. It's all about healing. It's all about balance. It's all about ego death. It's all about finding yourself so that you can come into beautiful union with someone here. Share. And you say, I don't want a relationship. I don't want any of this. It's like, no, but you don't need a relationship. This is about unconditional love, experiencing energy. The trauma says it doesn't want a relationship. This isn't. This is about healing energy, transmutation of energy. That's what it's about. Whether you want to make it a connection or not, in the 3D, that's up to you. If you don't want one, then you don't want one. Okay, great. But you need to heal the ancestral wounds. You can't run away. You can't suppress your emotions, suppress the truth, pretend it's not you. No, ego death, ego death, ego death, or else we can't become our full potential here. We're blocking it. We're in the moonlight. Beautiful angels, this is your reading. I know it wasn't everyone's. What an interesting reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.